last time, after spending a little bit of time talking to the Oracle, much to the visible unease of your comrade, the Hurricane, you'd embarked on a few little things around town. Does anybody have anything particular of pertinence that you want to bring up before we start? Anything of relevance?
Has I've been paid? No.
Yeah, I've heard a rumour the shit's about to hit the fan. Can you shed any light on this for us?
I probably would have bought some more rations because I'm thinking about animals in the future and stuff. So I need that to talk to them.
Well, you've had a couple of days since the confrontation underneath the arena, where you confronted the man in blue, who turned out to actually be in disguise, and he was a red-skinned and somewhat dangerous individual who had his eyes set on the death of Sao. Sao was lured in there and decided to go in alone, and had a lengthy fight against the reanimated body of Otogi, and several creatures trying to rip out his heart. The rest of the party pursued, but it took a little bit of time for them to catch up. But nonetheless, after what seemed like a very close fight, you emerged victorious, taking down your opponents. Hurricane secured the lamp, and you rescued what apparent prisoners they were down there. It was something of a tense scene, which felt like, I think from what the Oracle was suggesting, this was a potential turning point for Sao's destiny, as it were. Jerick was just a jerk for wherever he was for the entire thing. Okay, so that being done, you've had a few days, you've had time to rest. If you wanted to get any sundries, like anything that's normal from the from the player's guide, you are welcome to do so. So you can, Dan, restock on any rations and things you wish. And today we are meeting at a location of Sao's choice.
I suppose I would have rallied everyone around the arena.
All right.
Topside.
Can I have got a diamond? I know it's not in a player's handbook, I don't think, as a standard item.
Zedivore or perfect glass?
We'll go to perfect glass.
All right. Perfect glass has a diamond which is 360 gold. That's his smallest denomination one.
Oh, I would have had to go over to Zedivore then.
Oh, well, I have one that's precisely cut exactly for the purpose of bringing back comrades. 300 gold pieces, sir.
We'll hand that over. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, yes, you can get a 300 gold piece diamond from Zedivore.
Awesome.
Okay. Anything else that anybody wants to pick up?
The Hurricane would have bought the 361.
Oh.
You flash bastard.
Because, yeah, diamonds, graphics cards, just...
Make it rain!
Yeah, the Hurricane now is one of those people who goes into any shop and says, "Have you none of the large ones?" Okay, yeah, you can pick up that. That's fine.
Okay.
This graphics card may be old now, but it's special to me, I can tell you. It's just like a glowing little disco going on down there all the time.
It's not from the handbook, but I would have spent some time reading, Jamie, if I've learned any more.
Oh, absolutely. Let me just get.
And I sent you a message as well about what I've been doing in the in-betweening days. I DM'd you on Discord.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll have a look.
It's a very simple thing, but it's something I want to keep somewhat secret.
I got it. Okay.
It's you that's causing the inevitable destruction, isn't it, silly? You're taking over the...
Maybe.
Live of fate.
It's a number of people. It could be.
Ah, there we go.
Or something completely
Right.
different.
I was like, I'm sure I wrote down the
Yeah.
name of the guards who Syleth ended up killing and stuff. And I was looking for it, and I've just seen it, and it's in like tiny writing where I've decided to just jot it down.
But is he dead, though?
No.
He's
We
not dead.
brought him back.
Yeah.
I brought him back.
Where's the crime?
I brought him back. I had to do it.
It's an interesting question that Dungeons and Dragons laws was
He's
Had
got
to
severe PTSD. That poor old guard.
gonna sue.
Cost me
Give me a-
3 gold.
Give me a while. I'll have spells that can fix that.
Western Dock. That's where they're from.
I can fix that
The
for you.
boss is called a Mr. Tonis. Or something like that. That's what I've written down anyway.
I would have spent a bit of time looking for the 5e equivalent of sellotape to, or gaffer tape, to make sure the lid of this lamp isn't going to come off.
Could you not just dunk it in a barrel of glue?
It'd be wax, sealing wax.
Sealing wax.
Or
Thank you,
melted
Olive.
horses.
I knew there was a reason you were the wisest amongst us.
Are you trying to say I'm old?
I'll ignore
Of
by the
course
Tills
not.
18.
Very old, that's why.
You do look old.
I'll ignore that Till's got 18 in wisdom. I'm not even smart enough to play my character.
Whoa.
Still makes me laugh that Nazak is wiser than Dramos.
Well, no, wisdom and intelligence, it's not the same thing, you know. You
Yeah.
know, not
Dramos isn't
not-
that intelligent either.
Reading is
Well,
like
to be
street
honest, I
smarts.
think Nazak is wiser than Dramos. I mean, Nazak doesn't tend to wander off by himself.
No,
Yeah,
he's
that's a good
the
point.
the group.
No, he just
no.
charges in
Yeah,
front of everybody.
Nazak likes to run off.
He waits to see the danger, then charges to it.
Yeah, and he's got like
Yeah,
40
wait
feet of
to see
movement.
Ask Dad first.
Nazak's been turned to stone yet. It's
He's got 40
Okay.
feet of movement, and me, the dwarf, trying to run behind him with my 25 feet, trying to catch up.
Mm,
But,
mm.
We were watching The Lord of the Rings, and we were just commenting on how wonderful Boromir is, but then how bad he acts whenever he's around the ring, and we were just saying his wisdom is so fucking low.
he
failed every
failed
save.
that wisdom. He's got disadvantage on wisdom saving
Yeah.
throws, but that's because he's human.
Well, he's got like, I reckon he's got really good stats for everything. You know, super charismatic, great fighter, but like a 6 for wisdom or something.
-2.
Yeah.
But he'd have disadvantage because he's a human, because it's supposed to corrupt the minds of humans.
But
much more
Aragorn,
than...
Aragorn did alright with Wiz because he's a ranger. So,
Yeah, but an Aragorn isn't human because he's had some kind of elvish gift handed down to his like bloodline and stuff. Which is why
Yeah,
he lives
that elvish gift was the one that affected his voice. We all know the thing about Aragorn's voice, don't we? He's a hero, but at the same time, he does have a voice like this. Legolas, get them up!
What do your elven eyes see? What does your man mouth say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get it. Let's get it into gear. So, after some minor shopping over the past couple of days, Hurricane bids you meet him in the stalls at the Hurricane Memorial Arena.
That's what it's called now.
Memorial.
Hurricanes Arena.
Sorry, Archie. I was getting ahead of myself then. That's...
Say, oh, that's on next session. Like.
So Hurricane calls you to meet him in the stalls at the arena this morning. It's an overcast day. The sky is a plain grey. The clouds merge to form just one solid sheet of grey, which stretches off in all directions. It is it's a mild temperature, dry. The ground is dry as you move through the streets. No sign of damp on the ground. No dew this morning, and indeed as you walk through the cobblestones, some of the bits of mud which have accumulated between those stones cracks and splinters as you walk through it.
See what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. Nice and dry, isn't it? No water.
Fire. Good for fire.
Yeah.
So as you walk past all of the thatched roofs,
And open barrels of lard and
occasionally peering through the odd window to see the rickety candlesticks on various families' tables.
Father Howell will have jogged down to the arena, and then
Right.
we'll meet. A slow jog, taking it easy.
So the arena is on the really on the eastern side of town to the south. It's not far from the docks, but equidistant to the small clearing, which is where the Temple of Gar is, and not terribly far from the tombstone. What do we call that building? Where they make the tombstones?
Stone warehouse.
Just a stone warehouse. The stone warehouse that used to be the Temple of Fate. It's quiet this morning as you enter. No sign of Vorgus, and you're able to walk straight through and see Hurricane in the sitting in the arena.
Good day.
Good
Hello.
morning.
Hello.
No sign of the traitor Vorgus, I see. Which leads me to believe he has hightailed it away with his new friends, Mr. Goosen, and those other people.
So, who's running the arena then?
This is a good question. Perhaps Gallum might be able to tell us. And I'll look up towards his box.
Okay. Gallum is up there talking to a couple of his people. Both of them are quite young, slender men, wearing fairly basic clothes. But as he talks to them, they frantically etch out on tablets his instructions. But he's too far away for you to clearly hear what he's saying at this stage.
Okay. I have no reason to believe that he is in on this, what happened the other night, but we should not let our guard down.
what do you intend to do? What's your goal?
I have 3 goals. I would like to speak to Sten about getting the assets of Hamias frozen. The home of clay that we visited. The warehouse that is operated by Mr. Goosen should also be thoroughly inspected. And then I intend to hunt down the rest of the group.
It might be worth talking to the Helvetians, because some of these, what would you call them, the militia? I mean, half of them are asleep when they're on post. I don't care. That's it anyway. It's just a suggestion.
If manpower is required, once we have the nod from the authorities, I would think we had sufficient gathered here to achieve the tasks. We even have Jarek.
Indeed you do. You need no more than me.
Hurricane, my old cock! So good to see you. And your friends! Oh, I feel everything is so much brighter this morning, don't you? Don't you feel how good it is?
It's pretty grey.
Oh, but a grey morning always turns out brighter later. The sun burns it off. Unless we have one of Hurricane's fine shows where he brings the thunder and lightning and it rains. Could you do that again for us, Hurricane? That's what I want to know. Can we get the rain in again, on demand?
On demand? I'm not sure about that. Where do we stand? Where does the deal stand?
Well, I am a man of my word, and I promised you that we would go 100% in on taking control of this arena, and by God, I've done it. Through my actions, I've managed to remove Vorgus as an obstacle, and it's ours. It's ours, Sal. I can tell that you're happy. You don't need to say anything.
Naturally, I'm happy for us both. And for all of the patrons of the arena.
Yes. Think of those patrons and their money.
And they will be entertained.
Like Mr. Krabs.
As long as you keep doing what you're doing, you fight in the arena, Sal, and bring the rain, I'll make it rain gold upon us. I'll finally be able to afford my wife's parties and have money to spare.
Wouldn't it hurt if it rained gold?
No. Because when we make it rain gold, my large friend, we'll be the ones flicking the coins everywhere. It'll be the peasants getting pelted on, and they'll scrabble for our coins and treat us like kings. Oh, I've waited so long for this day.
My boy, sorry to rain on your parade. Do you know what money does bring you? Comes with it. It's quite a new thing. Well,
admiration, power, respect.
Problems. Your problems increase.
No problem can't be bought away. Money gets you anything. And your friend here, Sal, the Hurricane, is going to be waist deep in coin.
You'll learn. In time.
I was like,
I'm a little curious. How exactly is it that you did deal with Vorgan?
It's very complicated. And business affairs, really, you shouldn't worry yourself. Fine people like yourself. It was a lot of political manoeuvring on my part, but needless to say, he is nowhere to be found these past couple of days. I think he's just afraid of my manoeuvring. That's what it is. I spoke to some of the hires up in town, and yes, he's been scared off.
I'll take 2 silver. Was it 2 weeks that we're going to find him dead in a ditch? 2 silver, dead in a ditch, 2 weeks?
I'm all for taking bets, but I think it would be immoral of me to take a bet on this, and him being a former colleague and everything.
No, I mean you. Finding you in the ditch in 2 weeks.
Finding
You've
me
got
dead in
this
a
by
ditch?
nefarious means, haven't you?
No. I am a respectable Lannister.
respectable.
You're going to make me do it, aren't you? You're going to make me press the insight check button. You're going to make me do it. It's a natural one.
I take it was about 6 days ago that Vorgus went missing, right?
Exactly that.
Impressive.
Wasn't he downstairs?
Yes, he was. He was, Nazak.
Oh, do you mean in
I was in downstairs.
In the arena.
We need to put yesterday behind us and concentrate on tomorrow. We got to bring in some new fights and get the money flowing into this place.
I agree.
I think you should look into having a proper contract written up, Hurricane.
I believe Dramos is sorting the legal side of this arrangement.
Yes. I'm sure he's very. He's got lots of time. I'm sure.
I don't mean to be rude, but I was just wondering, Sal, can I just take you aside and have a quick word in private? No disrespect to any of your colleagues.
Yes, of course.
Moves a short distance away from the rest of the group.
You follow. I'll follow.
Did I send a bird?
No, let's give them their moment.
What is it? What is it? Do you think they're talking about? That's that fellow over there. He seems distinctly dislikable to me.
He's
He
a businessman.
reminds me of someone. I just can't place my finger on it.
Seems to have gone slightly mad with power.
Sal,
Callum.
I have a reputation to maintain, and people are drawn to me because of my natural charisma. And that's what makes people want to fight for me. But I'm going to level with
This
you.
is true. I appreciate your honesty.
I've no idea what happened to Vorgus. But I think we should just count ourselves lucky that he's gone.
I have some insight into where Vorgus has gone. And I also know where your friend Hamias has gone. Or at least, yes, I know that he won't be coming back. Vorgus, however, is an unknown.
Well then, would it be the wrong thing to do, my friend, if I were to pay some people to, if he were to show up, have him taken out of the picture, a heavy swim down the docks?
Not before I had a chance to speak to him.
Okay. Maybe some people to bring him in quietly.
Well, I suggest you find a flamboyant character who could manage the ticket office in his stead.
I have a couple of ideas on that front. I was having a massage the other day, and this rather garrulous individual, I couldn't understand half of what he said. He was so in my face.
Was he a large man?
He wasn't large, no, but just very loud, singing your praises constantly, and literally singing your praises.
Yes, of course. A large hat and a sauna,
the
a
hat,
massage. Yes, that makes sense.
The hat he was certainly wearing, and it took me by surprise because it was hot in there, and and it was just, well, breeches and a hat was all the man was wearing, and he was singing these songs as he rubbed me down, and I felt quite
a
uncomfortable.
Helvetian accent?
He had an accent not too dissimilar to Vorgas's, so he might blend in quite well on the...
Excellent. Well done, Hamius. Gallum.
Oh, no.
Not again.
The Scooby-Doo mystery.
Yes.
I just wanted to say, Sal, that... and don't tell anyone about this. This is between you and I. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was on the verge of being ruined. I'd had nothing but bad fortune. My fighters were getting picked off one after the other by either Clay or his successors or Hamius's men. I was running out of people. My wife was spending all of my money. I was having to lie to you left, right and centre about your winnings in order to try and get everything back. But we've got it all back now. We've got it all back. And more. My point is, Sal, I wouldn't be in this fortunate position and we wouldn't be able to give all these people jobs if it weren't for you. I'm not the sort of person who would say thank you. But I'm going to, when no one else can hear. So.
Save your thanks, Gallum.
Oh, thank God.
History puts all of us in the places we are meant to be. I did not use the F word.
Yeah, and we
All
appreciate
right.
that.
Well, I just want to know. I just want you to know that you know.
Yes.
I'm grateful. If it weren't for you, well, I feel lucky today.
I remember my first time in the arena when I slept underneath this box, probably in what was a makeshift jail. And nowhere else to stay. Till someone took a chance on me. And in some ways we have shaped each other's future.
Well, I like to gamble, Sal, and sometimes I like to cheat. By cheating, I mean I go and see the Oracle and ask her who's going to win. Oh. But I didn't need to ask her about you. I just somehow knew that you had a big destiny, and I think these people that are following you around are equally going to be drawn into your tide.
I hope so. However, I fear my tide may be coming to rest. I have a few more tasks to complete. And then I shall put down my swords.
Nonsense, I won't hear of it. I'll constantly keep setting opponents against you until you make us richer than all of Helvetia. The Emperor himself will have a smaller stack of coin than us, Hurricane. We're going to be rich. So rich. And famous.
Well, then I shall work on my punctuality. Thank you, Gallum.
Yes. Words to that effect, Hurricane. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to book some matches and arrange for some glorious high posters with you on them to be displayed all around the arena.
Okay. Now that is music to my ears.
Mm.
Oh God, this is going to be bad, isn't it? Sorry, I just need to deal with something.
Of course. Gallum will step away.
It just He's just gonna go wipe his ass from the shit that you've just made come out of it.
Oh, it's all over my face. Oh, God. Oh, he's spewing it.
All right. So while Gallum and Hurricane are talking, the rest of your group can, I suppose, continue to talk amongst yourselves.
If I was Reinhold, I'd be taking a shit on his desk about now.
I was just thinking, I was laughing to myself because I was like, if ever anybody uses the word fate, Gartok's gonna be like the juice man who smashes through the wall and he's like, oh yeah, the Kool-Aid guy, that's what it is.
Oh yeah!
Gartok is just gonna come smashing through the wall like, who the fuck said that?
It's more like it's like saying squirrel to a dog. It's fate to the harbinger.
So I was laughing that if ever anybody mentions the word fate, it's just Gartok gonna smash through the wall like.
I think Corim has stepped it up now. I think Corim has more of an issue than Harbinger.
Yeah, but Corim would face plant a wall and it'd hurt, whereas Gartok could just walk through one.
Yeah, you asked that other Harbinger that took about 130 points of damage from me in a single hit.
Well, one of my characters has been introduced to Harbinger of Fate, so like, he thinks that a Harbinger of Fate runs the Temple of the People.
Is Gallum out of it? We're in his office and Gallum's fucked off. Is that where we are at the moment?
Oh, you're in the stalls at the arena.
We're in the stalls. We're not in his office.
No, not in his
Damn
office.
it.
No.
Just search his damn desk.
Sneak around.
No, I was going to rifle his desk.
Gallum doesn't have an office as such in the arena. He does all of his business on display in his box overlooking the sands.
Oh,
I don't really want to go through Gallum's box, I must be honest.
Nazak would have started heading
We
down
did
to the last place he saw Vorgus.
All right.
So he'd have started going up to Hammer's box, gone down the stairs, and started going through all those networks.
All right. So Nazak goes off on his own. Is that right?
I would follow Nazak.
Can we?
He's wandering. Hang
I
on.
was say that Nazak never ventures off on his own.
Yeah, this is it.
No,
Hello.
Nazak's clever. He never ventures away from the party on his own. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and wander around.
All
Oh,
right.
gonna chase after Nazak.
Yeah, I'll be following him.
Sure, why not?
The rest of us will reluctantly follow.
I thought it might be good to look for Vorgus where we last saw them. There might be something we left.
That could be the case. I do think it's worth looking down there. But Vorgus left via a spell. Him and those others, they used.
That one that looked like a dragon.
Yes, he had some kind of teleportation magic. Very impressive. But I have no idea where they could have got to.
Would it not be worth trying to find the two people who are caged down there? They might have had more information than we have. Two fighters were caged, if you remember. They were cowering during the fight, but we let them out.
I don't remember.
Yes,
There was a lady
One to the
devil
north, and there was
woman.
one. Ooh, there was definitely one to the in the north.
There was a male north and a female south. I can't remember what their races were, but we let them out at the end.
The
But if we-
female was a tiefling.
But if we found them, if we could find them round here, if they're still around, maybe they were in there long enough to pick up some information that we don't have.
Potentially. Although I would say that they're likely to have moved on. I wouldn't want to hang around here given their circumstances.
It depends if they're gladiators or if they're, you know, some people here bought to fight in the arena.
We could go look at the fighters after.
It was just a theory.
Yes. Let's have a little look down there and see if
Yeah.
anyone's been hanging around.
All right. So the group move away from Hurricane and Gallum and head over to Hamius's box and then down the stairs behind. Hurricane, your conversation with Gallum finishes in time to see them disappearing up into Vorgas's box.
Okay.
As they disappear from view, there's a bit of a shift in the atmosphere, and a wind blows over the arena, causing all the flags that are on poles surrounding the perimeter to violently shake and change direction, blowing inland. The rest of you, as you head down the stairs, you don't remember it being quite, because it was quite panicked last time you came down here. You don't remember the stairs being quite so rickety as they are. And as you go down, you notice that while the arena itself is made out of stone, one of the few buildings in the entire town which is stone built, the majority of it being wood and so on. The stairs here are still wood embedded into the stone, and they shake somewhat as your combined weight goes down them, causing small amount of plaster to fall from the ceiling and shower you lightly, although the building itself seems to be in good structure. It doesn't take long for you to work your way through the corridors, and you find yourself back in the room where you recently fought, the underground arena with the worn symbol of Darius painted on the floor.
Right. Does it look like anyone else has been in here since we were here?
It looks pretty similar to what it was before. Obviously, there's no prisoners in here now. I presume you did not leave them in here for the week.
No, the last thing that I've got typed is we free the creatures off it.
This cell here got scorched, didn't it? But the big fire elemental ended up setting that whole thing on fire.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So the female was in this one.
Yeah, and there was
They
a
were
male
up
in this
here,
one.
and there was a male up there.
Yes. And also an octopus up there.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely an octopus there.
So I'd
It
climb up
works.
here and I'd start searching around this sort of area.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna take a walk up this way and head up.
I'm gonna park my bum in a cell and start ritually casting Speak with Animals and put a bit of my rations on the floor. I'm gonna
Come
See
here,
if
mousey, mousey, mousey.
Okay.
or ratty here. Mice? No. You only have the strongest rats.
What's in
I
that
go.
area there?
I think I'd ritually cast Detect Magic as well.
All right.
Have a look around, see if anything magical.
So Nazak and Till, you'll find up the top area, there are several tables here. There are coins loosely scattered on the table and several sets of dice around. It looks like people were idly gambling here. All in all, there's about 76 gold pieces in total split amongst these tables. Not small stakes by any stretch of the imagination for a commoner.
Is there any arcana coming off any of the dice?
There is not.
Oh, boo, boo.
You want loaded dice?
I was just wondering. I'd probably neatly stack the coins up, like a bit of OCD. So rather than like taking them, I'd probably just neatly stack them and then carry on with.
So the central table, Nazak, where you go up to, again, coins scattered across it and dice. You find on the floor, next to one of the tables, a roll of paper.
I would pick the. I'm just saying, I'll pick the piece of paper up.
Okay. You pick it up and unroll it. No writing on here, but it does seem to be some sort of outlined shape with several lines going through it. Few triangles have been drawn on it here and then. there.
I'd keep hold of it and then just carry on looking.
All right. So from Till and Nazak, let's have a perception check.
I think Joel's just had a.
And then I guess it'll just be from you.
Oh, that didn't roll, but that was a 24. Didn't roll on there. On roll 20. Never mind. 15.
15.
Still not too bad.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
As you look round, you find towards the back of the room in a corner a discarded satchel. It doesn't look like it's been put here on purpose. More flung away.
I will pick the satchel up and look inside.
In the satchel, you will find there are 2 small bottles.
Yep.
And a small pouch.
Let's have a look at the bottles first.
All right. The bottles contain a light-coloured liquid, and they have labels on them with writing.
Can Nazak read? Don't think so.
And then I'd open the small pouch.
It has what looks like some sort of powder in it.
Okay. I'd go over to the zone. I'd see Olive and Silith casting. I'd go. I'd call Jarek and Father Howard and say, Dad, Jarek,
Yes.
Hurricane. I've found things.
Ooh. Let's have a look. I'll come up to the edge, shall I? I'll come over here.
Okay.
Pass it down carefully.
I'll put the roll of paper into the satchel as well, and pass the satchel down.
And have a look.
There's some bottles and some powder and a piece of paper with drawings on it.
Don't forget where you found it, Nazak. We'll have a look. And I'll go in the middle of everyone. And I'll open up the satchel. I'll take out the bottle in front of everyone. What do the bottles say?
These appear to be 2 healing potions. They're labelled that manufactured by Yanef, Lotion Libation.
Okay. And the piece of paper?
To your eyes, this seems to be a map. It's got a outline drawing of the coastline where you are now, but extending far to the east and north, and what looks like mountain ranges drawn on it, rivers, and a number of harbours up in the far north.
Oh my god.
Wrong group.
Any writing on there?
It is completely no writing at all.
Right, I'll put that back in the satchel.
No, Dave, I enjoy giving the wrong group the stuff the other group needs.
And then I'll have a little look at the pouch of powder. Open that up in front of everybody.
Oh, this is clearly diamond dust.
It's the wrong group.
Rub it right in your face. Ooh, this is valuable.
How much do we think that's worth?
How much is it worth?
There's about 500 golds worth of diamond dust here.
Fuck.
Oh,
Just to take the piss.
I
A few lines of that, you'll be all sorted right out.
don't know about you, but I could put this to great use. This 500 gold worth. I have a great eye for diamond dust. It's exactly 500 gold pieces worth, and I think it would be very useful for me to have this, or till even.
I'm a bit away from you, so I suppose I wouldn't really know much.
I'll pull you back over in a minute.
I've been stacking gold coins.
So while that's going on, a black-furred rat emerges from the back of one of the cells, cautiously putting its nose to the air, sniffing, whiskers moving.
Okay. Has my spell finished casting at this point?
Mhm.
Okay. We'll just... Okay. Go on. You're quite safe. Have something to eat.
Moves tentatively towards you, sniffing the air.
My name is Olive. We're not here to harm you. Please, have something to eat. You look hungry.
I am hungry.
Oh. Well, if you have something to eat, could I ask you a question? Would that be okay?
Can I ask you a question?
Is there any other people that have been down here?
No. Me first.
Oh, you asked me a question.
I want to
Yes,
ask you a
go.
question.
Oh, exciting.
How come I know what you're saying?
Oh. It's a little trick of magic I can do.
Oh.
I can speak to all animals. And, our worst animal here is a man called Jarek. I can't stand the fucker, but I still have to speak to him. But I much prefer to speak to you.
What's magic?
Sorry?
What's magic?
What's magic? Now it's a means of solving problems, like me speaking to you.
Right.
But I wouldn't complicate your brain. Please have some of the jerky.
I don't mind if I do.
Intelligence too.
Normally I'm having to run round the tables up the top there to get myself some food, or take a nibble on anyone who got a bit too badly hurt in here. To be freely given something, and this is tasty.
Have you seen anyone else come down here? We're looking for a specific person, though.
I've seen lots of people come down here. Normally I have to stay hidden. There's a little crack in the back of that cell there, and I go behind there. And sometimes I find some other rats, and, we all hang out together.
So you have a nest. You do... Okay, so you do live down here. So you're quite well versed of the place.
Oh, it's the first time I've heard that word, but it seems to be the right one.
Is there any secret passages that maybe someone my size might an opening come open and walk through? Is there?
Well, you're very big.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay. In the past few days, has anyone been down here? Has anyone popped in like magic? Just appeared in a puff of smoke?
Not that I've seen. No.
Okay.
I was getting a bit worried. I was thinking we were going to have to move because people brings the food.
I've bought like 3 ration packs. I'll put the whole ration pack down for him.
Oh.
So well, I haven't eaten any of that. So that should keep you and your family going for a little bit.
Family?
But, there's going to be some new management here soon, I would say. So, see how you go.
Well, people bring food and rubbish.
Yeah.
And rubbish is good as well.
Yes. Okay.
I don't have so much a family, just there's a couple of lady rats that I spend a bit of time with. And they've got kids, but that's nothing to do with me.
That's pretty standard for someone of your kind. What do you
mean by that?
Sit up on the side here. I some of my friends might have a question for you. Is it okay if they come in here?
Can they speak as well?
Well, they have to speak through me, but they won't hurt you. I'll protect you. I promise.
Well, all right then. As long as this meat still keeps coming, it is meat, isn't it?
Well, that's meat, that's bread. I think that's some dried fish. There's
Oh.
quite a variety.
Fish, you're spoiling me. I'll talk to anyone you want for some fish.
Father Howell, we have a person that you might want to speak to. He lives here.
As you move over towards where Olive is, Father Howell, there's a rumble, just like when you're walking down the stairs, and a little bit of plaster falls again from the ceiling, smashing on the floor next to you. Only a small bit, but it's enough to throw some dust up into the air.
Ooh, I hope Hurricane's had a look at the foundations. I wouldn't want to take on a property that's, subsiding or anything. Sorry, Olive, who?
This little fellow here. I'll look down to him. He's been here for a while. Is there anything you wish to ask him? Any specific person that's been through here? He hasn't seen much, but he's awfully hungry.
Has anyone been back in the last few days?
When you haven't been eating, has anyone been back?
No, not that I've seen.
The stairs, has it made that noise before in the past few days? With the plaster coming down?
Oh, when there's people upstairs fighting, always that's happening.
That's all. Okay, so that's normal. Okay.
Hurricane, did you go down as well, or have you stayed up on the top?
I actually said I was. I actually said I didn't come down, but when my token was down here, I just assumed I followed.
Okay.
So I will be milling around, inspecting the cages.
They were just the tokens that were down here before, weren't they?
Yeah.
You didn't have to come down. The token was down on here from last time. That's all.
I don't think I've got any more questions for you, but if you wish me to put the food near the crack so you can get it at your own leisure.
That'll be easy, yeah.
I'll take the food up and kind of tuck it under the bed where the crack is.
I wonder if the rat saw anybody else. Anyone else?
He says he hasn't seen anyone.
No, I mean, before. I am. Yes.
It's a difficult one. He's been here a long time for a rat.
All my life.
Yeah.
3 days.
I'll hold up the satchel. Do you know who this belongs to?
Who carries that? Can you
Now,
describe
I saw
him?
that was a man. He got like a grey beard and
Grey beard.
grey hair. Came down to about his neck.
Big man.
He wasn't. Well, they're all big, but he wasn't as big as some of them.
Okay. That's good to know. At least we know the owner.
Do we know someone who matches that description?
Indeed. The gentleman who talked to you so politely outside that warehouse.
Oh,
The Goosen.
no.
Mr. Goosen.
Mr. Goosen.
Okay, sorry. Fucking Goosen.
Is there anything else that you could tell us that might interest us? Might be important, do you feel?
There's loads of us.
Okay.
You don't see us, but we're always there.
Oh, that's your specialty. You're very good. Yes. Yeah. It's I know people don't usually like rats, and I'm sure you've been chased with a broom a few times, but if you see me, you can always come up to me.
All right. Yeah.
I'll leave you to feed. Make sure you take some for your family. Don't be greedy.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Insight check.
Yeah.
the new family that I'm going to create.
Okay.
After
Yeah.
I've had this meal.
He's going to be full of energy to go around fucking now, isn't he?
So the,
All his own kids.
yeah, he starts dragging away the bits of food you've left out for him and slipping through a crack at the back of one of the cells.
Oh, you little bastard. He's full of plague and covered in mites, but he's still a cute little bastard.
Funny. You don't see us, but we're here. And there's loads of us.
We could kill you all.
They're going to burn the town down, aren't they? It's the Rat Rising. The Rat
That's
King's
what
coming.
That's where F-Man has gone, isn't it? He's like,
F-Man.
can't do it through people, but I know there's a number of rats about. Let's spread a plague.
You spend a little more time. Detect magic is cast. Nothing shows up as magical. And with
Everybody's shit.
Till and Nazak having searched the upper area, you don't find anything else? No sign of any people or other remnants from the people you're looking for?
Sorry, has anybody looked for like secret doors or anything?
I asked the rat.
That's sort of what I was doing as well by looking for magic, so they can illusions or enchanted locks or anything like that. You know?
We haven't physically looked, but we've done.
Could I have a look to see what's there? Is that another cell there?
That is another cell, yeah. 1 second.
It's a silly question. Are the fires on? Is there light down here?
The fires aren't on, no.
Alright, I was going to say. Probably in pitch fucking darkness at the moment.
Well, I mean,
most of us have dark
we can
vision.
assume.
Light.
Yeah,
I think
but
it has light if anybody needs it.
Yeah.
I've got dark vision, but Father Howell definitely will.
I have light.
Yeah.
Phil,
Hello.
we've got this bag of diamond dust.
Oh. Where did you
Imagine
find that?
Nazak found this bag, and it was in here. And diamond dust is obviously very valuable in our profession.
Indeed, it's what I used to save that man for.
Oh. Can you use diamond dust just to cast Revivify?
I think it was an actual diamond,
It's
but
an actual
Yeah, you
diamond.
can't use diamond dust.
diamond dust is just a smashed up diamond, isn't it? So.
Yeah,
No, it's
diamond-
used for specific other things.
Yeah, diamond dust is very valuable, but for other spells, I suppose.
Like Greater Restoration.
Oh, greater restoration.
Eventually.
Would you like to take some?
Oh, if you're willing to part with some, it would come in very useful.
I think that would be good. How about you take 300 gold worth, and I'll take 200. There's no point splitting the 50. I don't think you can cast it with 50.
You must have a fantastic eye to be able to split that.
I've
That's
got
good.
a lot of. Well, you see, as an intern, when I first began in the church, very, very long time ago now, I basically just had to portion up diamond dust for about 2 years.
Impressive.
Yes, it was incredibly boring. I didn't
So-
get to do any of the
sounds made
things
up.
that I thought. Any of the things I thought I would do in the Church of Imogen. I thought it would be much more hands-on, but they put me on clerical duty.
If you'd be willing to part with some, I would happily take some. Would come in great handy in the future.
Yes, so I'll give 300 gold worth of it to Till, and I'll keep the remaining 200 gold pieces worth.
Could I glitter my beard with it?
Please don't.
You
Really
bejazzle your face.
I'm only joking, but I was just like, I know where I can keep this safe.
Oh, imagine Dave, next time he saw you, he'd just be like, what have you done?
I'll try and add that. There were some gold pieces up on the tables upstairs. I didn't feel like, removing them too much, but I couldn't leave them in a mess, so I just left them on the table in a nice neat pile.
We should take them.
Yes, I was thinking the same.
I would have picked up the ones which I found, but I have no idea what they're actually worth.
Well, Jamie said between like the two tables, it was something like 74. So
75.
all right, Mister, correct me on one gold piece.
Gotta get it right.
I said about.
76 actually. We find 76 gold between you and me. Anyway,
So,
But it is still on the table if you'd like it.
I would have picked it up and divvied it up between people. Yeah, so it's 10 gold, 8 silver, 5 copper.
First time I've got money in a while.
So this is clearly not giving us any leads as to whereabouts of Vorgus and the others.
No. But we're a little richer for coming down there. Certainly. Those potions will come in handy.
Yes. Oh, do we want to split those? I should have thought. Sorry. I already have some healing potions in my possession. And I heard it. Who doesn't have a healing potion?
I can heal others. I suggest maybe Nazak or Hurricane. I don't think you can heal yourself.
I cannot. I do have 2 potions, one on my belt. Ta-da! Can you put a diamond on your belt? And one in my pack.
My diamond is hidden in a book inside my pack.
Very useful
Nice.
for when we need to save your life.
Yeah, when we very need to quickly get to it. Yeah.
It's in here somewhere.
It's somewhere in this bag.
You see every other character hanging around their neck, a raw cut.
And my one that was like that had to be used to save that man. Didn't have time to search through my bag. Look at you, silly.
So, Hurricane, you already have a couple of potions. Olive can heal, Tail can heal, I can heal, Jarek can heal as well.
I don't think Derek needs one.
A minor ability in that area.
That's weakness in your land. You don't need a healing potion, surely.
Healing comes in handy more than you would believe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the goddess of luck does not always deem me to be lucky enough to avoid my enemy's blows.
So, one for Silith, one for Nazak. I think that would be wise.
I think that's fair.
So here's yours, Silith.
Thank you.
Nazak. Here's your potion, right? Don't drink this until you're very badly hurt or somebody else is very badly hurt, okay? And if you needed to feed it to somebody else, remember to take the cork out and pour it all in.
Try not to spill it. This must all go in.
Yes.
If you ate the glass and drank the potion, would the potion not get into your bloodstream faster through the cuts and therefore you'd heal for a little bit more?
Don't do what Phil says. There's absolutely no problem.
You're meant to be a medical professional.
Hey, well, that's why they put gold flakes in vodka, so you get drunk faster.
You're eating glass.
Nothing looks like he's eating worse than glass.
Don't eat the glass, Nazak. Just open the bottle and give it to the hurt person or take it yourself. Only when someone's hurt. Hold on.
Isn't it normally Jarek that's trying to change Nazak's mind on things?
Yeah.
Oh. So what's happening? I don't think we've got
Now
much,
that we are here, I seem to be having a better recollection of the other people that were in the room. Forgive me, Olive. I feel compelled to speak about these other two individuals along with Forgus and Mr. Goosen that were down here when they laid their trap for us.
Yes,
One was... Sorry, Olive.
No. Okay, carry on.
One was a dragonborn.
I saw him. He was up behind on the plinth there, behind the table.
I believe he may have cast a spell to allow the group to escape.
Okay.
I agree.
Do you know his name?
I do not.
Would I have any knowledge of what that spell would be? Or any idea, understanding of what it might be?
Herbal nature.
With the spell he cast to leave.
Yeah, he vanished out of here, didn't he? So
You can make an Arcana check.
Isn't it a teleportation circle up at the top, is the Jamie?
There is not.
26.
Ooh.
You're fairly confident it was a plane shift.
Yes. It was a hectic battle, but it's an ability far beyond what I can master. He did not simply just leave this building. I believe he left this plane.
That is impressive.
It has a number of uses, but it is a very powerful means of transportation.
Do you know where they might have been transported to?
The spell is far beyond my grasp. I wouldn't have any idea.
I'm familiar with the Feywild as another plane, but I don't know of any others.
What I understand, there are many.
Yes.
Perhaps it is inconsequential. The final member of the group I saw was a woman, but I did not get a good look at her.
What was this man, this other Goliath, on the floor? Seemed zombie-like.
I was going to bring that up to you guys once we'd done this, but it seems like something has taken control of him. Some kind of parasite.
A parasite?
Which seems to have completely taken over and is... Yeah, we've moved him away from town for the time being because we fear he might be dangerous.
Was he dead already when this parasite took him, or?
He'd been in the clinic with me for a while until the morning of when we travelled here. He seemed to have recovered and checked himself out. I didn't think too much of it. I'd come back from a long journey.
I'm sorry
But,
to hear.
Intriguing.
The parasite is worrying.
It is, but I believe for now we have it under control. For now.
There's a distant rumble, followed by another, and then another, and then a fourth one. A few seconds later, plaster falls from the ceiling. Again.
I don't like the sound of that. I think we need to get above ground.
Certainly worth investigating.
Has the fight for the day started?
No.
Okay.
Sound like wheels on a horse and carriage or anything, does it?
It was like 4 separate rumbles.
I just thought like going over the bumps and things.
It's possible.
Let's head back up to the surface.
Yes, that's
Seems
that's-
loud enough to investigate, doesn't it?
I did not
Right.
think we would hear the sounds of the city down here.
Well, we shouldn't. That's my worry. We are far enough underground with enough stone between us. Those vibrations must be very large.
Do
Yes.
you want me to go ahead?
Please, Nazak, just be cautious.
We'll be right
Start
behind you,
running
Nazak.
Start
I'll
running
follow.
upstairs.
I'm not sprinting, but I'm following.
Yeah, I'll follow.
All right.
Yeah.
So with Nazak going to lead the group, make their way back up. It takes a few minutes to go through the labyrinth corridors of the under arena until finally you make your way back up the steps behind the box. You step out, the sky is still grey, the arena appears deserted.
Was it completely deserted when we came down?
It pretty much was, other than Gallum. He doesn't seem to be here now.
So it's not like people have just vanished.
No.
So, are we outside the arena now? Or
You're
we got to the
in.
point where we're at
So
the front
you got to the point where you got to the top, and you're in Hemius's box. You can head down into the stalls, and I'll take a perception check from everybody, please.
Ooh.
Can we see out into the town?
When you're in the arena, because it's quite. You're in a bowl, at the base of a bowl, really, that's up on each side, so you can't see out into the arena from this point.
Okay.
You probably could. If you left the box and you went straight up, you could get to the top of the wall, and which would give you a view over the town itself.
Okay. 19.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh.
Hurricane has to do a little bit better.
Go on, Hurricane.
Oh,
What can I say?
Oh, wow. For Hurricane in
Go Father
particular,
Howell.
who is so familiar with the atmosphere in the sky, you look across the grey that's up there and you're aware that it's not all cloud. There's flecks of a darker colour intermingling with the sky as a fire somewhere casts its sooty smoke over the sky in the arena, and there's the smell of wood burning. Now, the city normally has fires in many of the buildings, but
Not normally a fire on top of the building.
Could I
Fire.
head up to have a look over the walls?
Yep, so Nazak starts going up the steps behind the box and climbing towards the top of the arena walls.
I feel like Gimli when he can't see the battle. He's like, do you want me to get you a box?
Nazak, you reach the top of the wall, and the last bit is a large step, and you have to put your arms up on the top rim and bring your weight up, to which you're standing upon the actual rim at the top of the bowl of the arena. From this point, you have quite a vantage point, this being one of the tallest buildings in the entirety of Misthass. It's you can see quite clearly that the town slopes up from the base where the southern docks are, uphill to where the outer walls are on the northern part of town, which are the ones you would normally go out of. The bay is filled with ships, as it often is, but they are not usually on fire as they are this morning. There are
sorry?
I like how you just casually skip past that bit.
a little bit further out
fire
into the
as well,
harbour.
but-
There are an additional 50 ships, and
Window attack.
periodically arcs of fire come from the front of these ships, sweeping in arcs, dropping down into the boats on the front of the harbour. Not all of the boats are on fire, and it's clear that some are trying to make it clear. You can hear a bell ringing distantly and see that a number of the buildings to the south of the town are also on fire. Can you make a perception check, please, Nazak?
Yeah. Under attack? Can we get all of
Only
our
12
characters
this
in on
time.
this? All of our characters that are in town?
You don't know any of this yet.
No, just Nazak's looking at it. He might come down and say, "Looks like they're putting on a play."
Looks like fireworks.
12.
All right. Amongst the ships, there's just so much smoke throwing up. I mean, the smoke has thinned out by the time it reaches where the arena is, but it's a thick black plume of smoke coming up, which is obscuring visibility from seeing a huge amount that's going on down there.
I'm gonna stick my head back through the gap. There's lots of fire in the docks. The ships and buildings are on fire. There's lots of boats out further out which seem to be spraying fire at the town. I think we need to go.
Surely you must be mistaken.
I'm gonna pull up my dress and dash up the stairs to try and look.
Am I
Can we see
pull
the
up my
smoke
dress
in the air?
and run up to the?
All right.
Can we see the smoke in the air, Jamie?
You can just see there's now that he's said about it, there's some thin whiffs of black above the arena.
Can we smell? Like
You can smell wood smoke.
burning?
You can smell wood smoke, yeah.
I would probably abandon these to run towards the town.
Okay, so you start running out of the arena. The ones who've gone up to the top of the bowl, which is Hurricane, Father Howell, Olive.
I would be up there. Yeah.
Going to move up there slowly.
Just now like enough to understand what he's saying.
If everyone's going, I'd go as well.
Okay, so Till alone runs out of the arena. The rest of you make
Pretty
for the
slow,
ring.
to be fair. I only move 25 feet every 6 seconds. So
So do I.
You can catch up with me.
I can't.
You can't, but
Olive Bear can.
Olive Bear definitely
yeah,
can.
you can transform into jaguars and shit.
On,
Olive.
on Saturday night, our dwarf got his leg caught in a bear trap, and he had his movement speed halved.
10 feet. Yeah.
12.5 feet around. If he got his other leg in there, he'd be.
Yeah, Looney Tunes cartoon.
So as you all make your way up to the top and climb up onto the rim of the arena to be level with Nazak, you all stand right on the edge of this thing. Flagpoles near you. You see the flags are flying and the air is blowing inland. Here you can see the bowl of the harbour all ablaze. These 50 additional ships, 50-ish, maybe more, all out there in the water spewing fire into the southern and western docks.
Is there any insignia? Is there any flags flying?
Perception check.
Can I as well?
Yeah.
Yes, we
14.
will. Let's have a look.
Yeah, who are these fuckers?
Nope.
Are there any military vessels in the harbour, like on our side, on the
There
town side?
are a couple of military vessels. I mean, the harbour didn't have a huge amount, and
couple.
There's a couple which are ablaze.
Oh.
They're on fire. The town is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck!
Nazuk would have stepped up and jumped down the side of the tower.
How high are we?
Very, very high, I think.
Are you stepping?
just-
Are you saying you're stepping off the edge of the arena?
It's too much
Yes.
for Nazak. He can't take it.
Are you gonna land on top of Till?
He's
Uh,
fine.
Just as I run out
I've
of,
got
just
a
as I
ring
run out
of
the
feather
door.
falling,
Oh, you
so
do? Yeah.
Of course you have.
I fall at 60 foot around and take no damage. So
All
I
right.
just stepped up and
So yeah, Nazak starts to slowly descend as he steps forward off there. And your hearts jump for a second.
It's a new trick.
The possible thought that Nazak might have, that's just enough. That's finished Nazak off. He's
Bye now, like you dumb shit. Like,
Right. I
Absolute
think we're gonna,
showboater.
we're gonna have to run after him, but I'm not going that way. I'm gonna start running into the front door.
all right.
is this where somebody cast a spell magic on his ring?
So you searched at the harbour. You could not see any signs of any insignia on these ships.
Look, I'm gonna get Jeffrey. I'm gonna start running down the other way as well.
Stop! Stay together. Let's go to the Temple of the People.
Okay, yes.
Still sprinting as fast as he can for that.
Right, I'm going down the stairs and the dress hoisted up, running as fast as I can.
Okay. So, Till, you get out through the doorway into the street itself. Now that you're down this point and out of the arena itself, while it seemed to project the sound out into the streets, like you're walking near the arena, you can normally hear cheering and whatnot from the fight, almost as if it was constructed to amplify this inviting sound of people having a good time. Inversely, while you're in, it seemed to deaden the sound outside, and as soon as you step... as soon as you step past the threshold, you can hear bells ringing and distant sounds of screaming. There are horns blowing.
I'm mostly sprinting towards the Temple of the People because I want to gather the clerics to go and help people in the town. That's the instant thought of Till.
All right, so Till is going
to the clerics.
Run towards the Temple of People, so it's going to take you a little bit of time to get there. And as you start getting through a few streets, there's going to be people running up from the harbour direction, so you'll be forcing your way through the streets. Nazak,
to dodge people.
You drop down to the floor on the outside of the arena. What are you going to do?
Nazak could be going straight to the heart of the trouble.
Okay, so Nazak runs down to the harbour. Father Hal started going down the slope, saying, "I've got to find Jeffrey." What's the rest of the group doing?
So, from our vantage point, can we see what ships, whether they, whether they're flying any flags or anything like that?
So we just done a perception check for that.
Yeah, well, I've just rolled a 13.
No, you can't see any signs of flags, but you don't think that the black smoke rising from the ships and the buildings at the southern part of town, it seems to be obscuring a lot of what you can see, making it difficult. So you can't see any signs of any flags.
Does it look like the ships are attacking the land?
Yes.
Okay, so it looks feasible that the ships have done all of the fire damage that's currently...
From what you can see.
Okay, thank you. Well, yeah, Hurricane's final words was, "Let's get to the Temple of the People," and started running down the stairs, cursing that showboater Nazak for stealing his thunder.
Do you not float down faster than him and be like, "I'm going to get there for you"?
No one's going to take the literal thunder.
Do it once. Who knows when I might need that?
That looks better than that.
All right, so Olive, Silith, and Jarek, what's your game?
I'll be trying to keep a bead on Nazak, but trying to stick with the party. If I can get to the front door and still see Nazak, I'm going to try and see which way he goes.
All right.
We should, follow Father Hal towards this Temple of the People?
Yes, let us head towards the temple. I know a few people there, and maybe they have some idea of what's going on and who are attacking us with those ships. Yes, let us head towards the temple of the people.
All right.
You are concerned, are you, Olive, for
where's he gone?
Orc friend?
He's not here. Knowing him, he'd charge straight for wherever the fire is.
I'll snap my fingers and summon Kira. Go find our friend Nazak, would you? And if he's in danger, return to me.
Kira takes to the sky and heads off after Nazak. By the time, I think, to be fair, by the time you get down the stairs and to the front door of the arena, Nazak is long gone. So you look around, Olive, but there's no sign of him.
Oh, you stupid boy.
All right. It's about the point, Till, that you reached the north end of the market square, having forced your way through people, that the rest of the party, with a superior movement speed, will catch up with you. With the exception of Nazak, who's making his way down to the docks.
Yeah, so you'll just see the ginger dwarf running through the crowds.
Does Nazak get turned to stone?
I was just wondering, if I still had my gloves of missile snaring, could I catch one of the fireballs and throw it back?
No.
No.
No, that's not how that works.
Classed as a
You're gonna roll
missile.
dice. You're gonna roll dice to do that. You
Okay.
mitigate the
But
damage
I'll
and throw it back. That's going to be the size of a car.
At the point, so you run through the streets as quickly as you can. At the point that you pass the northern gate and come into sight of the buildings that are beyond the Helvetian garrison and the Temple of the People, a bunch of Helvetians rush past you. Incidentally, about 50 of them, all with shields, running down to the southern docks. You make your way out to the front bit and catch sight of the Temple of the People. Nazak, you get down to the front. It's absolute pandemonium down at the docks. You're looking left and right, and you can see people screaming. The weary sailor is completely ablaze, engulfed in fire. A number of the boats are burning. Tom's is not on fire yet, so he's okay.
Magically protected by plot armor.
You can see that a couple of the invading boats have made their way fully up to part of the dock and are disgorging people into the town. Further than that, there is a flying creature over the head, breaking through the cloud of smoke.
Really?
What?
It's got dark, mottled green skin, but you can't see it that clearly. It appears lizard-like, a long neck, wings, back legs, no front legs to speak of, and it was being ridden by someone. It to the right, and again disappears through the smoke. You hear a scream, but can't see the source of it because the smoke obscures so much.
Didn't somebody have a vision of this?
Oh my god.
I was going to say, I vaguely remember somebody having a vision of,
Malamir.
The rest of the party,
of a dragon flying over the burning town.
the rest of the party catch sight of the Temple of the People. The dragon squats in front of the tower near the door. It's huge, gargantuan. A golden torque of immense size wrapped around its neck. It drops its head to the front entrance of the Temple of the People and disgorges hot, molten fire breath straight from the front door.
Fuck!
What?
Flames burst out of the windows in every direction through the Temple of the People.
Jesus Christ.
There's a almighty roar as the dragon pulls its head back. It disgorges fire again, burning several more of the buildings that are in between the two parts of the town before flopping its wings and flying straight up.
Do we see who is riding it?
No one was riding the dragon.
Okay, no one.
What colour is the dragon?
Red.
Green. Oh, I thought you said green. Sorry.
The thing
Green.
that
Yeah,
Nazak saw
green-
was green.
Green mottled.
Oh god.
Yeah.
What? There's more than one.
Yeah.
Well, we've
I
only seen
remember right,
seen one.
Malamir's vision saw a red dragon, if I remember correct.
And
Yeah,
the
I
red
remember
dragon just went and fucked at my temple.
Oh, I wouldn't like to see the repair bill for that.
It's alright, Till's on the way.
Is it still in front of the temple
No,
of the
it's
people?
forced its wings down as a waft of air which fan the flames to the buildings on either side, and it's taken its bulk back into the air again.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
you're
far
some
away-
distance from it at the moment. You've just come through the northern gate. If you remember, normally you come through the northern gate and have to turn right and travel through all those buildings. So you've seen it from some distance away.
I'm going to run to the front of the door and look in. Is there anyone on fire? Is there anyone being immolated?
Okay, so you guys, you start making your way through these buildings towards the Temple of the People. Nazak, what are you going to do, Nazak?
I am running down, trying to help people as I see them. Because it's such chaos, I'm kind of like helping people up and just shoving them on so they keep running past me. I'm looking for Cece.
Okay, I'm going to take a perception check for that then, please.
And I will be shouting her name as I run as well.
All right.
Doesn't say how.
14.
All right, you don't see her, but you do see a group of from one of the ships, a group of 20 armored warriors who are headed by two large, hunch-shouldered wolf-like creatures, making their way rapidly out of the harbour directly to the west. There's a second group, pretty much the same thing, heading straight up the street into the main part of the city and heading slightly to the east. No sign of Cece though. Kira as well will have found Nazak, and you'll be aware of the situation, Seth.
Well, if it's within 100 feet, I can see.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah,
I told her to go
find
and
him.
watch him, and if he's in danger, as in like, dying, to return to me. So
It's too far away then. So yeah,
he's just watching at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to run for the temple when the dragon moved. And as soon as I get to the doorway, which is probably completely engulfed in flame, as I go in, and I was going to cast Create Water
Okay.
as rain. So it does 10 gallons of clean water within range in an open container. So the water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube within range.
All right.
I'm going to be using control flames and diverting the fire to another source. So as the rain's going, I'll be carving a path.
This just says extinguish and exposed flames in the area. That's what it says about the rain. So I'm basically just trying to make it so that as soon as I walk in, I can extinguish all the flames, and literally as I go through the temple, I'll probably end up having to cast it multiple times.
I was going to say that, mine's a cantrip. I can throw it out the window.
There's going to be a lot of fire for you to be going.
You're going to need your spells.
All right. So hold on just a second then. I just want to establish what Nazak is doing, and then we'll come to the temple. What are you going to do, Nazak?
Are there any signs of any soldiers or Helvetians or anybody that could potentially hold their own?
You find a number of dead militia guards.
Let's say the dead bodies on the floor.
A couple of them are running to try and intercept some of these soldiers that are coming off the boat. A third boat is pulling up at this time as well.
Oh man. I would. With the third boat, does it seem to be coming in between the other two? If there's a group which has gone west, a group which has gone east, I imagine the boats have kind of like landed
Yes, that's fair enough.
The other one kind of come in between the two.
It's to the west side of the two boats that have already pulled up. It's the furthest from you of the two boats that you can see already.
Okay. If I look up, is there any like flags or anything flying on these boats?
Perception
or are they
check.
Completely unmarked. 18.
All of the masts on the ship have no markings at all. You quite clearly see at this distance though, no flags have been placed on, no obvious markings at all. There are no names on the boats either. You've seen enough boats now to know that they normally have a name on the front side of but nothing.
So militia are going after one of the groups. There's another boat coming in. There's another boat gone out the other way. Is there anybody in distress around?
Yes,
Apart
lots
from
of
the
people.
panicking people.
There are people trying to, people jumping into the water. It looks like there are a couple of people who are under attack by soldiers.
Is it a big group of soldiers? Oh, stuff it. I'd just go to try and help them.
Okay, so you start running
I
towards
would be
some
trying to help.
Okay, so back at the temple. The rest of you run across. Several of the outer buildings are now on fire, but you get to the Temple of the People. Flame licks out of the front door and the side windows. You can hear screaming from within, past the wall of flame.
So I'm going to cast a level 1, a first level Create to Destroy Water.
Okay.
which I'll whack it in the thing, at the front door. And the clinic is just on the right-hand side of the front door, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And you go through the front, so I'm trying to get to the clinic. So once the flames have extinguished from the front, I'm gonna try and head into the clinic to see if the clinic's on fire, and if the clerics in the clinic are on fire or if they're safe.
Well, let's not go that far yet. Right.
So
First step.
That's my plan.
Okay.
So that's what I'm.
First step. So you get there, you thrust your arms out in front of you, and taking a small amount of water, you multiply the capacity of it, and the front corridor of the Temple of Blue is engulfed with water. Smoke immediately pours out, or steam does rather, pours out the opening, flying up to the front of the building, creating an open path leading into the temple itself.
I run in with Till. Is there any people doing the Burning Man?
Okay, there are. You can see at least 20 people on fire in the common room. It looks like the fire, because of the way the dragon did it, burst through the front couple of rooms, engulfed the common area where people are commonly eating, and straight through into the main hallway itself. There are a number of people there. You can see Jeffrey nearby, who's currently trying to put somebody out. He's the only person you recognise amongst this crowd.
I will start rolling people. If anyone's unconscious, I'll be casting Spare the Dying, and then I'll be moving on to the next one wherever I can.
Okay.
Yeah, so if there's anyone on fire, I'll be using Control Flame to essentially remove the fire off them and throw it onto a flammable source. I can't destroy it, I can only transfer it.
All right, so you two start doing that. Till, you run in, you head right, and you start heading towards the clinic.
Yeah.
Okay. Silif, Jerick, and Hurricane, what's your plan?
Right. I'll do something similar. We'll go in, and anyone who's been put out but who still looks unconscious, I'll take a look at them, and if I like the look of them, I'll channel 1 point of healing into them and lay on hands.
I
If
can
I don't like the look of them, I won't.
I can extinguish the flames within a cube.
Okay.
So as long as I can do, if dwarfs are fine, but if they're 6'2", I've got to do it twice.
All right. So the situation then is Till's managed to put out the flames in this front corridor area, in the area that he did. There's flames still licking all over the place in the various side rooms where it funneled through. Father Howell and Olive go to try and help people. Jerick's taking slightly more time to, not that one, not that one. You find unconscious, you've run into him before, a fellow named Toledo. He is severely burned, most of the flesh gone from his face, but you can make out half of it. His eye just staring out. There's no hair left. His eyebrows are gone, and hair's completely gone. The flesh is all mottled and boiled over, and on his neck there are big blisters.
Toledo. I obviously don't recognise him.
Okay.
Okay.
You can move on. Move on to someone else.
Odd number, I'll heal him. Even not.
Okay.
No. Didn't recognise him.
All right. So he's unconscious anyway. So you move on to the next person. Hurricane, what are you doing?
In my limited ability to comprehend fires and fire damage, would I guess that this building has got a ticket to destination fucked?
Of the buildings that are in the town, there are very few that are made out of stone. The walls are made out of stone. The halls in the centre of town is stone. The arena is made out of stone. And this, while being a new building, was mostly a stone build. What is on fire mostly are the hangings and furnishings. There's a good chance, with You managed to put the fire out quite quickly. This building will probably be okay. The damage seems to be mostly for the people inside.
Okay. The group that normally inhabits the Temple of the People don't put their horses around the temple, do they? They have a little stable where they would be. So I've got no idea if the murder squad would be inside. No. Okay. So I can hold my breath indefinitely.
Wow.
If I thought it was a smoke issue of getting people out.
Fancy.
There is.
I know, yeah.
There
If
is
it's
still
a fire
smoke.
issue.
Yeah. While Till has managed to put fire out, there is still smoke pouring from the side room. So black smoke is hanging heavily around the ceilings of the room.
Okay. I think I would. The murder squad can look after themselves. Head back to town. Towards the Oracle's house.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Nazak. The Helvetians arrive en masse, forming a shield wall immediately, as their protocol, at the main thoroughfare leading up to the town itself. They arrive in time to stop one of the groups that you saw marching out, and in that formation managed to make swift work at attacking the group of armoured figures. You notice at this point that the armoured figures, they're not human. They've got some sort of brownish orange skin and features not too dissimilar to your own, although somewhat more slender than an orc for sure. The Helvetians make quick work in formation of attacking them, but you notice these attacking warriors have got similar techniques. They form their own shield wall and fight back. The Helvetians have got superior training though, managing to find weaknesses in their armour. You are off to the side and you easily manage to dispatch a couple of the warriors yourself. With them individually, they're no match for you. You're obviously more powerful than you. Throw one into the harbour and are able to use your huge curved sword to slice one in two. The woman who was being attacked by it turns and looks frightened to see your face as being similar to the people who were just attacking her.
I'd grunt to run, and then head back to the Helvetians.
All right, you tell her to run. She needs no further invitation. She gets up and flees from the area. You turn to look at where the Helvetians are fighting the attacking forces. They're doing well in their shield wall. Make a perception check.
$18.
18. Okay, as you turn to look at them, you can see row of Helvetians with shields, second row behind them, holding their shields up above, providing protection from any of the spears that their enemies are using. It seems the Helvetians hold position, and then when there's a gap, a sword comes through, taking down one of the opponents. You look like you're going to move up behind the attacking forces in the system when you spot a shadow move over them. You see the dragon drop into the street behind the Helvetians. 50 Helvetians are lined up here.
Oh no. Oh no.
The dragon throws its weight down and its head comes down, neck enlarging. What do I do?
I would shout out at the top of my voice and point dragon.
The one of the Helvetians' second row looks towards you and turns. He shouts something you can't make out, and then the Helvetian ranks disappear in flame. Fire erupts down this corridor. You can just see their bodies, briefest black stick men, shields dropping to the ground. The attacking forces also engulfed and taken out in the same dragon fire. Flames fill that street. The warehouses on either side are also on fire. You were just about to run forward and you pause in your tracks.
Yep.
Oh fuck.
Okay. Does there look to be anybody else who's kind of like being attacked?
Oh, there's a bunch of people. Look, the attacking forces are split up, so there's lots of individuals looking for just people who are. They're trying to corral them together. Anyone who runs or resists, they spear or stab with a sword. There are a few people who are putting their hands up, and then the attacking forces seem to be corralling them together and pushing them all into groups.
All our favourite NPCs are gonna die.
Okay. Let's see what's happening.
Putting a flame down, some
Yeah.
fuck.
I'm just frozen in the doorway of the clinic.
Can I
Nice
make
bedside
an
manner.
intelligence check or something of similar workout that he might have gone for sleeping?
Everything froze for me as for a second there. All I got was Nazek saying, "I would."
I'd head towards Temple of Imogen, so I'd go the back streets, trying to avoid the enemy. And if I see them like running across, I'd kind of like wait for them, peek around, and then charge across.
All right.
And can I was wondering if I could make some kind of check to work out whether he was going to go for CC.
Okay, yeah, go on, do an intelligence check. That's fine.
What, 12?
I'm going to say no. I think from what you know about Nazak, he's likely to just to go for the danger. Or the last thing that he was told.
The healing potion. He's eating the ball, hasn't he?
I think your most likely bet would be to think he would have gone for where he thought the danger was.
Alright.
It's Silith, is Kira still following?
Yes, I believe so. I cannot communicate with her from here, but I told her if he's in danger to return to me, so we know. And if she's still out there, he's likely okay.
So Till, you get to the infirmary. Most of the clerics are present and are coming out to try and take care of the injured.
But they're not on fire, and the clinic's not on fire.
The fire itself didn't engulf the clinic.
Thank God for that. Like, I will just be instructing. I will just be pretty much letting them do what they're doing,
Okay.
because that's what I wanted them to do to start with.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that the people who can help aren't dead.
No, the fire didn't get that far. So it got the common room on the right-hand side, the corridors off to the left, and it got that main central room that's on the front corridor. If you remember what the layout is like.
Yeah. So I'll just be instructing them to help everybody and put out what flames they can. We've already got people in there helping with some of the flames, but
Okay.
we're probably going to have to go and deal with what's making the fire.
If Till burdens the main room, I think we're gonna have to move. We've got to
Yeah.
move.
I
We
can
need-
keep
we need
us
somewhere
safe.
safe to take injured.
I can keep a few of us safe in a location.
We need to
Let's-
find somewhere we
All
can set a
these-
camp up to
All of these
help the
people.
injured.
We need to get out of town. The town is ransacked. What are we to? I think that was one dragon. I'm pretty sure there was another one over the harbour. Can't do anything.
I'll scowl at the word dragon.
I
Maybe I did take my other arm. You know, like when the bear takes that guy's arm in Anchorman, and he's like, "Oh, I did not see that coming."
We need to find Nazak and get out of here.
All these people, though.
I believe there's a lot of adventurers we need to find to get out of here. If there's any chance that we're going to take the town back.
If that dragon comes back, we need to direct people as much as we can. There's not much we can do for these. If they've got to be able to walk, we can get the fire off them, get them to see the cleric, and then they've got to run. There's not much we can do here.
We're trying to get up as many people as we can with the cleric.
Yeah. We could do is finding somewhere to send wagons up here and then loading people into wagons to get out.
To the wagons.
We are going to have to do something because unless we run off now, we're going to be leaving a lot of people to die.
No, we need to heal them and get them to run.
We need to heal them and run them out the door.
This is one building. There is an entire town on fire.
Exactly. What are we doing?
You want to run from the town?
Yes.
What? We have no choice. That has been decided for us.
I think we should stand and fight.
Oh, fuck off, Jarek.
I'll take my longbow off my back and I'll start stringing it.
I will not be leaving the town to burn.
I shall be outside dragon hunting.
Yeah, I'll be going with Jarek. Because to me, Jarek is making sense right now.
Yes.
Father How, Silith, we need to find Nazak. He's probably in the thick of it.
Hurricane's gone as well.
Oh, where's it? Oh,
Hurricane is gone.
We need to get these people out of this building, as many as we can, and then we need to move.
All right, everyone, go to the clinic, heal up as best you can, and run towards the main gate where the Helvetian garrison is. That's going to be the safest place for the moment, unless that's been under fire.
You glance back through the door. The Helvetian garrison does not appear to be on fire.
Yet.
Probably the safest place at the minute.
Everyone, all people of Mist House, just go towards the Helvetian garrison.
That Tower of Darren.
The Tower of what?
I went out with the body of Laurie when he was killed in that fight. I went out with a bunch of the other adventurers. They got a fortified tower out in the wilderness.
The Temple of Darius is quite a way away.
I know, but not with the dragon.
This is why I was suggesting wagons.
We can't.
They might just be after the town rather than the people. We can
it is the town. Out. The town is the people.
Oh.
Ragnarok.
They might not be here to slaughter everybody. They might be here to drive us away from some kind of strategic location.
We can talk semantics all day. People are dying now. They need to run.
Which is why I'm heading to town.
Jamie, from what we could see back in the arena, did it look as though the elven side of the city was under attack as well?
At the time you looked, no.
I'm going to follow Jarek just to see if I can see Nazak. I'll do best as I can to make sure everyone's at least not on fire in the Temple of the People, and then run out with them.
All right.
You'll see me in the courtyard outside, scanning the skies, longbow drawn with an arrow nocked.
All right.
I'll be with the gates open, trying to ferry people out of the gate.
Jarek's gonna take a gargantuan red dragon.
I would laugh if Jarek shoots an arrow and gets something like a nat 20 straight in the neck of it and takes it down in one shot.
It's got like 300 HP.
Yeah, but anything can happen with Jamie's DM.
More than one arrow, that's all.
That would make Jarek like a legend if he took a dragon down with one arrow.
He physically can't, unless that is literally the fist of Darius on the end of that arrow.
Exactly.
You know, it's like 500 damage.
He could
be like that.
Pierce a wing, and the falling damage could kill it.
It'd be like that Viva la Dirt sketch where they have the guy fighting this big bad boss, and then someone comes along and just shoots it with an arrow. Oh, that was dead easy. That was.
Yeah. Oh, that was quick.
We got to establish who's attacking us first. Right. So I'm going to ferry who I can out the gates, make sure the gates are wide open, and then I'm going to be heading into town.
All right. So I need to be clear, because I'm getting a little bit confused about what everybody is currently doing. I know what Hurricane's doing. I know what Nazak is doing. Father Hal.
I'm side. I am trying to get as many people as I can up on their feet and out into the street to move.
Okay.
With Jeffrey.
Yes. So side by side with Jeffrey, the two of you are working on getting people out into the open. Silith.
The last I heard was Olive was going to look for Nazak. So I would probably go with her.
Okay.
If that's what you're intending to do, then that's what I will follow.
And I caught that Jerick is out in the street with an arrow knocked, waiting for something flying.
Fight me!
That is correct. And not only that, if something comes within range, I shall channel divinity, and I shall imbue my longbow with my god's power, and cast. Basically, I'm casting sacred weapon, which emits bright light for 20 foot. So not only will I stand there, I shall highlight myself as a beacon.
Beautiful, a beautiful ending.
Okay. So.
and obviously, I'll fire.
Okay, so you are going to stay here waiting for something to fly past.
Absolutely, I am.
Okay, and Till.
Once I've established that all the clerics are helping everybody out, and I've instructed them to get somewhere safe to help people, then I would be heading into town, making sure that the gates were wide open for people to flood out.
All right.
And then I'd be heading in towards the thick of it.
Okie dokie.
Right. Before everyone fucks off, whoever's in there, I say, if you need to move, just come here really quickly for 1 second. I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace, so you get plus 10 to your stealth check.
It's
If you have to go
within the-
sneaking. Is it only within a radius of me?
Yeah.
Fuck. Alright, I won't do it.
Around you. Yeah.
Alright, I'll save it. I wouldn't have cast it on Jerick anyway. It would have been pointless if he's shining like a beacon. Gondor needs aid, you know.
Actually, Olive, where we need a meeting point.
Yes. Helvetian garrison, Northgate.
If it's the dragon will go for there.
Okay.
Someone
Here?
know about down the well.
The
Oh,
well?
no, maybe not. Maybe not. Not so safe. Somewhere where we've been out of town. On the outskirts of town.
To Gartok's house.
Not been.
No.
No.
It's made of wood. Fucked.
I don't know. I'm not.
Sow. The marketplace, surprisingly, is empty at this stage.
Oh my God.
Smoke rises up from the south, and you can see, as you usually can when you're in the marketplace, down the slope into the bay. The bay itself is filled with black smoke rising into the sky. You can hear distant screams and running. No one is in the marketplace. You look to your right, you can see some commotion in the halls. You head to the southern end of the marketplace, to the oracle's door.
I wouldn't knock. I would try and open it.
The door opens easily, revealing the stairs leading up.
You sign of the old man?
No.
I head straight upstairs.
You make your way up to the stairs and get to the door which leads into her rooms. The door is slightly ajar.
Where are you?
Who is that?
The voice of the old man. I've come to see the Oracle. Where is she?
Is that's Sao?
Who else?
You're not supposed to be here. She's gone looking for you.
Of course she has.
When
What do you...
she saw,
You must...
she saw from the balcony, and she said she'd seen this coming, so she headed to the arena to find you. You can see now the old man is packing some bags. She said she was going to speak to you, and then we should leave.
You should leave. I will,
I am, I will confess, slightly worried for her. I mean, she is powerful, but not in physicality.
It's true. I shall find her. Before I do, I shall help you pack.
Okay.
And I'll pull out a piece of material or some clothing or something from his suitcase.
Oh, it goes in the suitcase.
Stand in between him and myself. Put myself in between him and the suitcase. Wrap the lamp in this piece of clothing and push it back into the suitcase.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you. You got it. Don't pull the stuff back out of the bag. It's going to take far longer if you did that. I don't think we were particularly worried about folding or anything.
You're right. I must go. And I'll go take a leap out the window.
Okay, you go up to the balcony and step out and presumably drop harmlessly into the street.
No, I'll take the falling damage.
Take the falling damage.
I can't acrobatics it.
6
It's
points.
on the 7th story.
It's 6 points of damage as you land hard on the ground. You bend your knees and go into a roll and then come to your feet. But nonetheless, there was a bit of shock damage there.
Bit of nasty bit to the ankles.
Fair enough. And then I will start running like the wind towards the arena.
All right. Nazak.
Bells jingling.
Bringing the power of the storm behind you.
You cut left and right, heading through alleyways, occasionally seeing some people running for cover themselves. You find yourself out in a larger street and head across the alleyway again because buildings are burning and the fire seems to have spread here and there. You get to a long length of the city street and see ahead of you several of those warriors, 6 of them, and the green flying creature you saw before with the saddle now empty next to them.
They look like they've seen me.
No, they do not. They're heading the opposite way. They have their backs to you.
Do I know a different route?
Make a perception check.
Seven.
All right. You start looking around for a different direction. Olive, Silith, Till at this point. You've moved back into the city proper after doing what you needed to. You can see various parts of the city are on fire now. And as you move down the street, you see ahead of you several armoured warriors with a flying creature near them. And Nazak at the far side of them, looking around at the streets on opposite sides.
Do I see Nazak?
You can see Nazak for sure.
Is it the opposite side of all these armored?
Yeah.
What's the flying creature? Is it like a dragon, or is it?
Looks
some other
very
kind?
dragon-like.
Does it have 4 legs, or does it have 2 legs?
It has
and
2 legs. The
So
arms
it's a
are
drake.
part of its wings.
So is a drake.
immediately cast Mage Arm on myself.
At least it's not as scary as a dragon, but it's still pretty scary.
The weapons they're handling, is there an obvious leader, or is there...
There's 1 to 4 of that group. Most of them have what look like spears, possibly long javelins. The leader has a curved sword. You see that they all have shields.
Everyone, just if they haven't seen us, I'm going to try and dart to a corner.
Oh, they've seen you. The leader is pointing his sword towards your direction.
Oh, shit. I
would say if they get...
There's Nazak. Oh, you can fucking drop that as well. I'm going to cast Heat Metal on the sword.
Cast heat metal on the sword. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to nuke it.
Let's go initiative from the 4 people on the map currently.
Here we go.
Oh, God,
everything's fucking on fire.
Because your warriors are mostly elsewhere. And Nazak's looking to get out of here.
Oh, go on, Sinner.
Damn, I thought I rolled high. My -1.
You rolled the lowest.
Do I get a surprise round for my little old lady? Oh, you can fucking drop...
Don't want the cleric first.
You want... you will get a surprise round, yes.
Okay.
Not a lot I could do whether I go first or not.
It's all good, don't worry. It's all good.
I'll
got this.
I'll get the waffle on it for you.
They look like hobgoblins to me.
Goblins?
You can cause an object to glow red hot. Any object within physical contact takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell. Till the spell ends, as a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns, you can cause the damage again. So I'm concentrating.
You can roll your 2d8 damage.
It already rolled it. It's 7.
7. Okay, so the lead one, pointing his sword towards you, cries out in pain, and his sword drops to the floor.
No, he's going to roll a con check. If a creature is holding or wearing an object it takes damage from, the creature must drop. A creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if he can.
That is a 2.
Yeah.
So that's a grand total of 3. So he is going to take the damage. All right. So let's get his initiative as well. It was going to be 11. You guys are all going ahead of them, by the look of it. Till.
Are they charging towards us?
At the moment, they're not doing anything. One's pointed at you. His sword has glowed red, and he's dropped it on the floor. That's all that you've seen at the moment.
Hey, I can't move Till. But...
That might be a good thing.
Oh, no, wait. It's because I had the snappy thing on.
The measurer.
Okay.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to move here and I'm going to shout, "What is the meaning of this?" To the guy in front.
All right. He looks up at you. Does not say anything at this stage.
I would say, I suggest going no further. And then I will cast Guardian of Faith. I meant to put the thingy in. And I'm going to place him here. On that square there.
Okay.
It lasts for 8 hours, and if anything comes within 10 feet of it, it attacks them. If they fail a dexterity saving throw, it deals 20 damage to them. Or if they succeed, they take half damage. There's going to be a large sort of angelic form.
It's to a max of 60.
Yeah, up to a max of 60, but I mean, that'll be 20 damage to 3 people.
That's a lot of damage.
Okay. Which square do you want it in?
This square here. Yeah. I like that, that's a cool one. But if anything comes within 10 feet, any creature hostile to you that moves to a space within 10 feet of the Guardian for the first time on a turn must succeed in a dexterity saving throw.
Alright.
And then that will be my turn.
Silith.
The what was in charge, the leader, I will point my finger at him and toll the dead. Wisdom save, please.
Fuck it.
13.
He fails. And he's the one that took damage from the heat metal, isn't
He
he?
is indeed.
He can take
Oh.
20 points of necrotic
Oh.
damage.
Okay. So he looks up at Till, who says, "Go no further," and his face just turns to black and rots in front of you. Skin falling away from his flesh to reveal the bone underneath, and he drops to the floor, a withered husk inside his armor.
Oh, that should affect their morale. Well done, Silith.
I'll turn to Olive and say, you may not like some of the things that I think I'm going to have to do. I
Don't
feel they're
worry.
unnecessary.
We all have secrets, my boy.
Okay, Nazak, you're just about to search for an alleyway when you hear them on the other side of these creatures.
I also moved, by the way.
Okay.
Over 30 feet to the side.
As Nazak hasn't jumped on the back of the Drake. Yeah!
Tried to take it home. Hello.
You're mine
You're-
now.
Will you be
my friend
Be my
now.
friend.
You're my friend now.
I'm just interject
Can I-
while Ross is thinking for a second. I'm sorry, Archie. What did you say you were doing after you jumped out the window?
If I look towards the Temple of the People, would I see a large flash of light? If I look towards the Temple of the People.
No. No, you wouldn't.
Beeline to the arena then.
Okay. Sorry, Ross. Carry on.
Can I have a look around, see if I can see the rider?
So
just
it's not clear if you can see a rider.
I'd always head towards the big creature. So pull out my new sword, charge straight in, fly into a barge, and take a swing.
Okay.
Oh, only an 11 to hit.
That is-
I reckon
that is
that's a fail.
That is a miss. It senses you approaching and swings round its wing, buffeting your arm away from it.
I'll try again.
Okay.
27 to hit this time.
That's a hit.
So it's 16 slashing and 4 radiant.
Okay. You slash through the body of it this time. Blood sprays out.
You guys do as much damage as I have in the murder
And
squad.
that's it.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Olive.
I'm gonna gonna go onto all fours and kiss my ass goodbye. No, I'm gonna try and go into a direwolf
Yeet.
and start charging.
Okay.
I'll move my token 5. Oh, whoops. Oh god. Oh yeah, it's up. I can't control that yet. Sorry.
Now you can.
Oh yay. Okay,
So
going to
there.
direwolf. Yes, go 5, 10, 50, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Scooch over. 50. I'm going to snarl as much dribble and anger and just start just going absolutely rabid and just trying to mouth come at me. And going to hold my action to bite the nearest fucker who's brave enough.
All right.
I built a defensive wall.
Okay.
I'm trying to get to Nazak. How's my max movement?
The hobgoblins see their comrade go down. You see one of them look nervously to the side, and the one on the left resolves himself. Forward! Take them down! And they will run at you.
I'm going to chew on him.
They're all gonna surround you.
Oh, it's only a 12.
12 is a miss.
I thought it might be.
All right. So they run at you and jab out with their spears. There's 5 of them on you, isn't there? First one. That is an 8. 8 to hit you, which is a miss.
I got an AC of 14. If you want to roll them quicker.
Yep.
It's entirely up to you.
The second one, that's a 19. For 15 points of damage.
Okay.
The third one is a 13. The fourth
Miss.
one, 19.
Hit.
For 15 points of damage. And the fifth one is a 14.
That's my AC.
For 13 points of damage.
I am back down to Olive.
Alright.
Ew. I'm fucking angry now.
The wyvern turns round towards you, Nazak. It moves in with its mouth to try and bite you. But that is a 24 to hit you.
Oh,
Which I'm going to guess is a hit.
nah.
Yep.
Only just. It's exactly what you needed.
For 11 points of piercing damage.
Okie dokie.
And as it releases you with its mouth, it moves backwards and its tail flicks over the top with a sharp stinger jabbing for where you are. Oh, cocked. That is a 16 to hit you.
Yep.
Okay. For 12 points of piercing damage as the stinger goes in, can you make a Constitution saving throw?
17.
That is a pass. So, as the stinger goes in, you feel a warm surge. And you take, so it would be 20 points of damage, so 10 points of damage because you made the save.
Okie dokie.
All right. That would be me done. At the end of the round, Jarek, you see a winged creature move over the top of your position.
It's time to shine. How far away is it roughly?
It is 80 feet away.
Oh, that's close enough for me. Okay. Go full illumination.
The beacon is lit.
And knock an arrow. Oh, the arrow's already knocked, actually.
Release.
And release. Right. I think.
Is the arrow bright as well as you fire it?
No, it's just the bow.
Just the bow.
Right, yeah, I'm pretty sure I haven't got any.
No
Yeah.
magic arrows.
No magic arrows, no. So I'm casting Sacred Weapon. And then I'm going to do that. Yeah, that looks like a 20 on here. Oh, no, that's got to a 5.
Well, on there it's your ego, and on here it's the actual number.
Yeah. Okay.
You got a 5, but Jarek thinks it's a 20.
Right, I'm going to call on my god and use my luck. So I'm just going to re-roll.
It's funny because if you then look on D&D Beyond, it's a 6. So oh my god. So yeah, it's a 5 on Roll20, a 6 on D&D Beyond, and a 20 on the 20
Right,
on yours.
so it's going to be this plus 6 basically. Crit.
Critical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll just. Oh no, I'll roll 2. So 10 points of damage.
Okay. The arrow flies true into the sky, slamming into the side of the creature. There's a screech as it banks sharply to the left, its wings flapping madly to try and right itself.
What kind of creature was it, just out of interest?
Wyvern.
A wyvern. Fantastic. I think I've killed one of those before.
Did anyone inside the temple hear the screech?
Oh, you could hear the screech, yeah.
All right, we need to move people out faster, I think.
All right, so you start ferrying people out of the temple, running them across the town. Jerick stands there in the street, presumably knocking another arrow as this thing is going into a dive and banking round to come and do a run on you.
Yep, that's fine.
Hurricane, you keep your breath under control as you run through the streets. You do not let the surrounding panic affect you in any way, keeping your attention firmly on your goal. You feel cool as you run through the tunnel into the arena out onto the sands. You see the Oracle. She's in the centre of the arena, kneeling next to a elven-looking individual. He's got quite pale skin, no hair on his head, and he looks down at her. They're talking, but you're not close enough.
I would try and get closer.
Okay. You start moving up. Are you just walking straight up, running up, or how do you want to handle it?
I suppose I've been full on running up until this point. It'd be quite jarring to just suddenly stop as a walk, so I'd be jogging up to them with my hands held out. This is a great place for a final last stand.
You can see now that the Oracle seems to be completely motionless, straining. The elf has his hand out, fingers extended towards her. He looks towards you and smiles. And you are...
Hurricane, bitch.
Finally, someone who doesn't know my name. If you know the Oracle, then you might know who I am. And I'll address her. You saw this coming, and you came here.
Her eyes move to you, but nothing else does.
Does he look threatening
He does.
with his hand towards her?
Yeah.
And I'll pull my sword out.
Okay. He throws his arm to the side, and as he does, she slides through the sand. You hear a clap coming from the box at the far end of the arena. Top of the round in the street, it's Till's go.
I would be telling Olive to step back after seeing bear form drop. I would make 15 feet of movement into my range there, and then on this guy who tried to attack Olive, I will Sacred Flame, which is a dexterity saving throw of 15 to beat.
Dexterity saving throw of 15.
Yeah, of this guy here on the left.
That is an 11.
Yeah, he fails and takes 15 radiant damage.
It's a good roll.
All right.
Not bad. That's probably the highest I've ever rolled on a Sacred Flame.
So again, you extend your arm towards him. There's a blinding emanation from him of a radiant energy. As Imogen's power pours through him, ripping his flesh apart, and he is incinerated in a flash of radiant light. His armor falls to the ground empty.
Yeah, take the love of Imogen, bitch. We're trying to get we're trying to get Olive back into at least the aura.
All right. Which one was it again? Sorry, Till.
This one on the left,
there.
Olive.
Okay.
No, Nazak, I'll sort you out later. Get a few more cuts and bruises, you'll be alright.
Silith.
I'll move up 25 feet to tuck against this building, and I will toll the dead on the one directly in front of Olive. So Wisdom 16 save, please.
That is a 20.
No effect. That's it then.
Nazak.
I am going to carry on swinging. 13.
Is exactly where you need to hit it.
Ooh. That is 17 slashing and 5 radiant.
Ooh, very nice.
And then I will swing again. That's a 14.
That's a hit.
So that's a hit. Just bear with me, I just need to double check the divine. It's been a while. Hit on the first creature you hit on each of your turns. Okay, so this is just 12 slashing this time because it's the second hit that I do.
Okay. 2 mighty swings through it, cutting deep into its flesh.
And I will just let out a bellow.
Yeah. The Wyvern in the same breath screams out, letting out a bestial roar, which I won't attempt to do here because apparently my mic cuts out every time I do animal sounds.
Yeah.
Meow.
We're also clapping, we now know. Didn't pick up the clap. No, nothing.
Yeah. Mute.
That's me.
All right, Olive.
You may walk on the ground, but you don't command it. I'm going to start shaking the ground. I need to make a
One bludgeoning.
DC... no, but they'll all fall prone.
Oh, that's cool.
That's all of the hobgoblins, is it?
All of it, everyone within 10 foot, they all need to make a DC 13 saving throw, or they will fall on their ass.
All right. All right, first one. 19, 17, 14, and 8.
What? Ha! Ha! Ha!
So that one on the back falls down to the ground. And
On the back.
They all take
Okay.
1 damage.
Alright, I'll go back into wolf form and get the fuck out of it.
No,
Use my second wild shape.
only the ones knocked prone take the 1 damage, don't they?
Yeah, and I'm going to have to scooch back. Oh, I want to get to Nazak. Are they going to follow me? Yep, let's make use of that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Presumably that'll
And-
provoke.
Yep.
8,
Fail.
11.
Hit. Oh, no, wrong one. Sorry, I was on the wrong one. 14 is your AC.
8, 11, and 8.
Miss.
They all miss.
Okay.
Aha!
Okay, so you pull back. All right, their turn. The one at the back from the ground blows a whistle, which you probably can't hear.
No.
He blows a whistle and he points to the wyvern and then thrusts his arm over, pointing to where Silith is. The wyvern flaps its wings and takes to the air. He will provoke.
Oh, Nazak, nat 20. I feel we needed to nat 20 it. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
Oh.
What, 13?
So it's
13
13 slash. Ooh, let me just read this Divine Fury again. Sorry.
The
On
first
each of
attack
your
on this-
turn.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's only on my turn that it happens. So it's just 13 slashing damage.
All right.
Still
So as
pretty
it takes to the air, you cut into it. It flies straight across, landing in front of Silith's position. As it comes down, Silith, mouth wide open, it attempts to bite you.
Run, Silith.
It is going to get a 20 to hit you.
Reaction shield. Makes my AC 21.
Okay. So at the last second, just as the mouth comes down on you, a force stops it being able to lock on you. It swings round, the tail coming under it, and attempts to stinger you. 22 with a stinger.
Just is.
That is 9 points of piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw, please.
Six. That's a fail.
That's a fail.
Down
t-
you go.
32 points of poison damage from the stinger.
Oh.
I'm unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay. So the wyvern lands next to Silith, attempts to bite him, but is held off, and then the stinger deep into Silith's chest. You see his eyes go wide and then roll back as he slides off the stinger onto the floor, unconscious. Okay. Right, this guy at the back will stand up. And this one will move forward towards the wolf. So he'll enter the radius of your guardian.
He has to do a dexterity saving throw. I think it's a 15 to pass.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
So he would take half damage, so he takes 10 radiant damage.
Okay. He's still on his feet, but barely. So he moves up and goes to attack Olive. He's going to get a 18 to hit Olive
That'll do.
for 11 points of damage.
Ouch.
This one here, dexterity saving throw. So he's going to make 13.
So that's a fail, so he takes 20 radiant.
Okay, he is obliterated as he enters the aura of the Guardian.
Enough to shit the rest up.
Yeah, the other two go the other direction towards Nazak.
I think it states that it's the Guardian occupies a space with a gleaming sword and shield emblazoned with a symbol of Imogen.
Well, the first one ran up and got cut badly. The second one was just eviscerated and blinding radiant energy. The other two pull back and head towards Nazak. Okay, so The first one misses. The second one is a natural one. They both attack Nazak and miss awfully. That brings us to the end of the round, at which point I'm just going to pop over to the arena map where I'm going to drop Archie.
Good luck, dude.
Sorry, can you rephrase that, please?
Is it going to be you fighting the gargantuan red dragon on your own?
No, that's Jerry. What are you on about?
Hurricane.
Go for it, Hurricane. I'm with you all the way.
You
Alright.
did you just go? It's a pale-skinned elven man, right?
That's what I said.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So,
Oh,
and
looks
Hurricane, can you
creepy.
roll initiative for me, please?
yeah.
Cut the head off the snake, Hurricane. Cut the head off the snake.
It's a mighty 6.
Woo! Go Hurricane.
Well, believe it or not, I got an amazing 7.
Nah.
All right.
Yep.
You draw your swords and you move in.
Yes.
But
Shouting the command word for.
he will go before you, though,
Mercy to light up in
unfortunately.
flames. Okay.
All right.
What can he do? Who was clapping, by the way? Can I see the person who was clapping?
Make a perception check.
Ooh. We're good at perception these days, you know. 13.
All right. You can't quite clearly see him. It's a large figure in the box. He's stood up. You can see he's quite tall, muscular looking, but at the moment in shadow.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to.
It's quite a smile on your face.
We'll do it your way. And he swings you with his mace. 20.
It's a hit.
That is 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And
And.
4 points of radiant damage.
Ooh.
I love that and.
There's always an and.
Same as catchphrase.
We are going to be making a T-shirt with and ...
Is there an Imogen t-shirt yet?
No, I haven't finished yet. I do apologise. I didn't get to that. Okay.
Mine's going to be, oh man.
He swings in with the mace, takes half a step back from you, and waits. Take your move, Hurricane.
Okay. Takes half a step back from me. I will assume my attack position. Bells ring in. Enter my rage. And I will attack. First with a reckless attack. Sorry, I forgot to do that. So that's a 23 to hit with that one.
That is a hit.
So I can't even work out what these rolls are. Okay, so the 4 is going to be for next round. So it's got 6 piercing and 6 sneak attack because I was recklessly attacking. So 12 piercing, and he's got 1 wound.
Okay.
And then I will attack with No, then I'll attack with the same sword again. That's a crit.
Nice.
So that's 10, 12, 15 piercing damage. Interesting. It's rolling the necrotic damage, but I don't think that doubles, does it? I suppose it's all damage, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose it would.
If it's a roll damage, I double it on an attack.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, that's me done. As the storm wraps around me, please can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Hmm. 8.
Oh, a lovely 8. Be 2 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
That's me done.
All right. So he smiles and attacks you with a mace, and then seems surprised by how quickly you move, going for 2 swift attacks with your sword. Well-placed attacks, opening up his flesh at key points. Blood starts to run down his leg. A flicker of lightning wraps across his body, and he shudders slightly, again taking half a step back from you, but still staying within range. You see him look up towards the box, and then back to you, readying himself. Okay, so if that's you done.
I'll take any chances I can to communicate with him, but I'll do that next round.
That's fine. So, Jarek.
Right, I have a quick question. 5th level, I get 2 attacks. Does that would that include with a longbow?
I don't know, does it? I'll put it out to the ground. At 5th level, he gets 2 attacks.
So do I get 2 attacks with a longbow because I'm 5th level?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Right, okay. In that case, that last attack, do you mind if I have my luck point back? Because I should have actually had 2 normal attacks.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, the situation as it is, the Wyvern is coming back round.
At this point, it's brought round and it's now flying directly towards you in a full midway dive bombing situation.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. 2 more attacks with my longbow then.
Morg that motherfucker.
It's so Jarek, it's untrue. Even if he dies, I'll be happy.
It's like the deflation of Smaug, won't it? When he's flying straight for him and they're there like...
My God won't let me die.
Or will he?
Some of the time.
Some of the time, you might.
Don't about that one, G.
Other people's gods, many Imogen.
If it's Tuesday or a Thursday, he'll let you die.
How and Jeffrey cleared out the temple.
They're moving people now. There's a lot of people though, so it's in progress. They're kind of bringing them out the door and moving them wide of the confrontation that Jarek is having with this wyvern.
Arm the hobos.
That'll be a 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
Take good weapon.
So it's coming directly towards you, wings extended. 1 arrow flies straight into the neck. How much damage?
7 points.
Okay.
Get any extra for your sacred weapon?
No, that's just +3 to hit, I believe.
It's a D4 to hit, isn't it? Oh no, it's +3 plus your charisma modifier. Are you only that charismatic?
I am. Is it? You get a charisma modifier.
You get a what's a
I
charisma
know,
modifier?
From your charisma modifier. Of course, I'm that charismatic.
No, I'm just wondering if you're not more charismatic.
Eric doesn't need a charisma modifier.
He knows.
does.
His intelligence is low enough to know that everyone loves him.
Okay, second attack.
He definitely needs modifying in some way.
That's a normal 17 to hit. It's 1 point of damage, I believe.
1 point of damage.
Yeah.
Okay. The second arrow just glances off the scales on its neck as it plows into you, mouth wide open.
I'll make a last-ditch dive to the side.
17 to hit you with its mouth.
17?
Mhm.
That's a miss.
Going too high with the mouth, you can see its tail sweeps under, stinger extended. That is cocked. That is a 23 to hit you.
I dove to the wrong side. Yeah.
9 points of piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw, please.
Constitution saving throw. What is my constitution? Oh.
If
Okay.
Jarrett kills women, he'll never live it down. As in,
I'm going to use my luck on that.
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Back up.
hasn't the Wyvern got something stupid like 80 HP or something like that?
All right, let me have it.
Did you fail?
Yeah.
One.
His god is allowing him to die
I'll
today.
choose the first roll. Yeah, go on.
24 points of poison damage.
How many?
24.
Oh, okay.
So it flies down, misses you with the mouth, but the tail smashes through your armor, bursting open a hole in it. The stinger goes and you feel the warm gush of poison flush into your body. The stinger is pulled out because of its speed, flying over you. It flies straight over, hitting the ground hard, churning up the mud as it turns around to face you again. Buildings burn all around you from the leftovers of where the dragon attacked.
Right.
Top of the round. It's Till's go.
Sweet. So first things first, I am going to throw in a level 2 healing word into Stella. The bonus action, which is for 13 points of healing into Scylla.
I'll take it. Thank you.
And then I'm going to Sacred Flame the Wyvern, which is a dexterity saving throw of 15 you're looking for.
Ooh. That's not great. 3.
He takes 15 radiant damage.
It's another big roll.
That's the second 15 in a row for radiant damage.
Okay, another blinding flash of light as Imogen's power again washes over this creature. He throws his head back, screaming out towards the sky. As the light dies down, you can see what appear to be burn marks all over his body where the holy light has touched him.
Imogen's slapping people about today.
Imogen's power is rampant.
It's vibrating aggressively.
Rampant is a word we like to use in the Temple of Imogen.
Yeah, do we have to go? Do we have to cast spells like that? Like, is that the simile?
Anything else from Till?
Sacred Flame. Yeah, that's my turn.
Silith, your eyes open. You're up.
I'll stand up, so that's half move.
The wyvern's right above you, currently bathed in light, which is just dying down.
I'll cautiously go
Miss out,
5,
son of a bitch.
10, 15. I'm still in its
Yep.
reach. Bonus action, Misty Step. Get the fuck out of there. 5, 10, 20, 25. Appear right next to Till.
Boom.
Thank you, young dwarf.
No problem. It's my job.
That hobgoblin in front of us is still up, isn't it?
He is.
Just
I feel
barely
like he's
hanging
not
on.
going to be for much longer.
No, because when it starts your turn, you have to do another save, and if you fail, he takes 10 damage. I mean, if you pass, he
Is
takes
he the
10.
only thing in range then? Oh no, these guys are in range as well.
I would move 5 foot more in if you can.
I don't have any more movement left.
Damn it.
The one directly below Nazak, Toll the Dead.
Okay,
Wisdom 16.
that's a 9.
Has he taken any damage?
He has not.
A D8 rather than a D12, isn't it?
So just 8 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. Okay, black writhes all over his body again, similar to the one that you rotted all the skin off before, but he's still up. Nazak, you can see it more than anyone else as this rot starts to spread across his face, his teeth grit against the pain.
That's all I can do.
Okay. That brings us on to Nazak's go.
Okay, so I will swing at the other one. So this one first.
Okay.
Beat the shit out of him, Nazak.
And I will do it recklessly, so I get advantage.
This is the one diagonal to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Cut him in half. Almost.
19.
19. You swing the sword recklessly, buckling his armour, cutting loose one of the leather straps, and cutting him halfway through the stomach. He folds over by the hinge that you've made on the one side of his body, collapsing on the spot.
I will then turn the sword, so kind of like done that, and then I'll just bring it back to hit the other guy.
Okay. You reverse it, bringing it back down on the second one with a murderous arc.
19 to hit again. That's only 17 slashing.
This one goes straight through the bringing it up. Despite the size of it, it cuts the front of his face from neck to top, clean off, cutting away the bit that's still flesh, leaving only the rotten half of his head behind. He falls backwards to the ground.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And then I'll just charge straight towards the wyvern, and that's me done.
Okay. Olive.
I'm going to use a bonus action to heal myself, using the combat wild shape. So I gain 3. Brings me up to 29.
I'll give him a number.
What we're going to do, what would Olive do? I can see Silas just been injured, come over. Don't know what I'd attack the guy in front of me. I know that's not the meta game, but I'm going to chew his face. Attempt to.
What you do though, innit?
22, and if he survives, he's going to make a DC strength check.
Okay.
For 7 piercing.
You lurch forward, wrapping your teeth around his face. You twist your head to the side. There's a crack, and then you swing. His body flies 20 feet across the ground, coming to a still halt. He's gone.
Yeah. That's exactly what I would have done.
At 1 point left.
All right. Oh, shit.
He was.
I'm going to get... So I can see Nazak's coming over, so I'm going to start getting over on the other side and start distracting the dragon, just growling and having a go at him.
I'm not going to metagame.
No, but I mean, the metagame would be, I know he's going to die this turn, I'm going to go over and get advantage.
The thing is, if you'd have moved, he would have got an attack of opportunity on you, so...
Yeah, but I've lost my attack. I can potentially prone this guy, this wyvern, so that would have been the metagame.
There you go. The wyvern's flailing around and sees you. There's a the ground shakes all around you. And you hear a roar and a waft of hot air float down the street towards you. A building some distance to the north bursts into flames. Okay. The wyvern will attack you, Olive.
Okay.
With a bite that's going to miss for sure with only 9.
Yeah, it's a miss.
And an 18 with a stinger.
Yeah, that's going to do it.
Okay, that is 11 points of piercing damage and a constitution saving throw.
Okay, let me just write that down first before I forget. 11, is it? Okay. Con check. As a wolf. 22.
That's great. You're only going to take half.
Okay.
So
Hit
24, take half of that, that's 12.
Okay.
That is their go done if you scroll to the top of the map.
Oh,
dear.
The dragon's landed up the street and is just
Derek.
flames burst out, burning
Derek.
3 of the buildings. And now I'm going to jump over to Archie.
Derek, do your job.
He was shaken by what you just did to him.
It gets worse. He's about to take 9 necrotic damage at the start of his turn.
Ooh. Okay, 9 necrotic damage.
As the blade of many cuts does its work. Pain.
Okay. He lets out air between gritted teeth. Yes. Again, his eyes flicking towards the box. Your eyes flick up as well, and you can see there's no one in the box now. Yes. Pain it is. Moves his mace to the side and then reaches out with his hand towards you.
Ooh.
19 to hit you.
It's a hit.
He lays his hand on you.
Oh dear. What level?
smells like an inflict wounds.
Yeah.
26 points of damage.
Oh.
26 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, no necrotic damage. Okay. Ouch.
And he brings his hand back in. Black stretches up your blue skin. And a foul smell emanates from you. You're up.
Ugh. If you know this oracle, then you should know she came here to find me. Because he knows that you will not survive this encounter. I give you one last chance to yield, and I will hold up Mercy, the flame-licking sword, and light it with its bonus action keyword.
There is no yielding for all who follow the white face.
Piss. You are in my arena, and you will die. And I charge him.
Okay.
Once again, with the short sword of many cuts as a reckless attack. So that's a 17 to hit.
That is a miss.
And then with the flaming short sword.
That's a hit.
That's a 26 to hit. 9 piercing, 9 flaming.
All right. He evades your feint, stepping right where you want him to be for the second swipe.
And a dexterity saving throw, please.
Natural 1.
2 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
Comes from the storm surrounding me.
He shouts up, seemingly to no one, "This is not my skill, and you know this!" "Oh, I know. But you have to prove yourself. Don't you, Deacon?" And we'll move on to we're going to move on to Jerick and the other wyvern. Jerick, what are you going to do?
Bring it on.
Do it.
So the wyvern has landed. A bit like the eagle, but probably more impressive.
Yep, it doesn't take 3 hours.
Right.
Broadsword, calling Danny Boy.
Throw the bow to the side. Draw out my 2 swords.
You wanted this, didn't you, Jerick?
I did. I'm drawing out 2 scimitars.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
All right. Is that your whole turn, is it?
No, I'm then going to move forward, and I'm going to attack.
Okay.
All out attack.
All out attack.
Okay. Main hand is going to be the magical scimitar. Uh, 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
It's going to be 8 damage, and I'm going to stick a 2nd level smite into it. Harriet, how many d8's that?
You're muted.
Level what? Level 2.
Level 2 smite.
3d8.
3d8.
Also, tell your boyfriend to buy his own paints. Keep stealing yours. It's disgusting.
He came in for my glue, and I wouldn't let him use my Loctite.
So in total, that's 27 points of
Ooh,
damage.
27. That's great.
Second attack with the same scimitar.
Okay. Howl, as you're outside now, you can see Jerick locked in this one-on-one fight with a wyvern.
I'm going to re-roll the attack. I'm going to use my luck. So I'm just going to roll the d20. So it's 17 and it's plus 5, I think. So it's about 22 to hit.
Well, the wyvern has an arm class of 13, so you got him.
Shit.
Shouldn't
Okay.
use your luck.
What damage did I roll? 5. It's going to be another 2nd level smite.
Okay.
Oh, a total of 11 points on that hit.
That's a whiff.
That's 11
then-
total.
That's 11 total.
Oh.
So that's 3d8, a d6, plus 3.
Okay.
Such a whiff.
So,
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to take a strike with my offhand weapon.
so you strike him once. There's a blinding flash of radiant power as Fortune blesses your blow and you cut him deep. There's a second attack as the equal radiant power seems to have robbed you of your fortune in equal measure as your sword just glances off the side, barely wounding it.
Pray sardonyx.
I'm praying hard. Right, 16 to hit.
Yeah.
Right, I don't get plus damage on it. Oh, hang on, did that roll as it? Right, hold on a second. So DC, so that was 6 points of damage, and I'm sticking a first level smite into that one. So that's a total of 12 more points of damage.
On top of the 6 or including?
No, that's in total.
Okay. So you slash it 3 times, cutting through the scales. Scales drop to the floor, revealing the soft pink flesh underneath as blood runs down between the scales, but it is still up. It lurches forward with its head towards you. Getting 21 to hit you with a bite.
Yeah, I'll take it.
For 15 points of damage.
Okay.
The stinger comes round and stabs down at where you are. Slamming hard into the ground right next to you.
Oh. Shit.
Ooh, natural one. Yes.
I should have used the luck on the first roll.
Yeah, the stinger slams down, spraying earth up all over you. But you're still going. Father Howell, is there anything you want to do at this point?
I won't intervene until I know that it's not going to attract attention back. So, have we managed to get everybody out?
Jeffrey's just running back in and said, I'm gonna check the upper stories in case anybody's been missed.
All right, but there's no one coming out of the entrance at the moment.
There's no one coming out the entrance, but we can't risk leaving anybody. You know that, Leslie.
We knew that.
I mean, the Harbinger and everybody have gone out with all the rest.
Harbinger is not in till you
What
would
about
know
Malamir?
that.
There's so many
It's a good
people that could
question.
be in there.
Where is Malamir?
There's
Where
so
is
many
Where
people
is
in there,
Malamir?
like-
Do I see Father Howell out the corner of my eye?
Oh, yes.
Anywhere.
He's very difficult. If he moves anywhere out your peripheral vision, he's still kind of in it.
How far away am I from Jarek?
Say 50 feet.
54. All right.
Father, think of all those rolls you had from me.
All right.
Think of the food.
I will move in then.
Jeffrey stops, seeing you're about to move in, drawing his sword halfway.
It's okay. I've got this. I'm going to move in 20 foot.
Make a persuasion roll.
What, me?
No.
I've got
Ow.
this.
Oh, I've gone
I'm
off it. I wanna-
literally on my knees at the moment.
18.
Jeffrey nods and runs into the Temple of Imogen. Temple of Imogen? Temple of People.
I will move 20 foot towards him. And I will put a channel divinity into Jarek. So he gets 25 hit points, up to half.
Yeah.
And then I will bonus action. Oh, it hurts me to do it because I don't like healing from a distance. But I will use a healing word as well. At second level.
It gets better when you level up.
Oh, I don't like it when it's not hands-on. Another 14 points on top of that.
Oh. Derek bounces back to his feet from his knees.
Right. And then
Oh, hang
I
on.
will take 10... I'll move back a couple of paces. 10 foot back again.
Okay.
How done?
Howl out. All right. Meanwhile, Till.
So
The wyvern is over there fighting the wolf, Olive.
That looks very injured.
seeing that Nazak has moved back, I am going to channel my divinity, and I am going to pump in 15 points into Silith, up to half your health. So it's 15 up to half. I'm going to put 15 into Nazak, up to half your health. You might not be at half, but... and then I'm going to put 10 into Olive, up to half your health.
Thank you. Much needed.
So that uses that. And I don't have many bonus actions as a thing, so I'm going to end my turn there, I think. And maybe just take another step up towards this.
All right. You are aware of the
Keep my eye
massive
on the big motherfucking dragon.
Well, he doesn't seem to be
in front
paying
of
much
us.
attention to your group at the moment. He's busy burning buildings.
No, he's also 130 feet away, and I'm not going to try and guiding bolt him from this distance.
Don't attract his attention. Oh god!
I mean, I was like, he's 120 feet.
You guys
like, circumference.
just be thankful that Jarek is with me and
Yeah.
not with you.
Jarek should be
now.
taking this
It'll
guy
be-
on. This is
Off
the
you
whole-
go, Jarek.
Orders, I run towards him.
Don't start the party without me.
That'll be my turn.
All right.
We keep the party on their feet a bit longer.
Hey, if I live through this, anyone that listens to me will know that I've defeated a dragon, I tell you.
That's what I mean. It'll be
Okay.
every fucking meal.
Just before Silith's go, a bunch of militia guards, there's 6 of them, come out into the street slightly to the north of you. One of them is Corporal Gaffey. He sees the dragon. Pull back! Pull back! And get his men to run.
Gaddafi needs to run.
Okay. I need my token for that.
He's just got that dragon's attention. I'm not going to be happy. I'll take Gaffy's there as well.
We're going to sort up a management, are we, this time? Where's Stan?
I'm just
Got a
hiding,
break
I'm just
to
hiding
make.
in Imogen's aura, I am. I'm just like, nobody come near me, please.
Quick, where's Lawmaster Borrow? I need a word with him.
Oh god. I can't heal all of them on my own.
All right.
Run back. Don't try and take on a fucking dragon, you idiot.
Oh, they don't look like they're going to try and take on a dragon. They look like they're going to run.
Oh, fucking better be. But away from us.
I think
like,
that's
into the
above
back
their
seat.
pay grade.
That's above our pay grade.
Okay, so we've got
I'm not-
Corporal
I'm not
Gaffey
getting
over
paid for
here, and then the other militiamen. The one closest actually looks like he may have moistened himself at the prospect of this.
And
So
the rest of
it's
us out.
Silith's go.
Corporal Gaffy looks well dodgy.
So I'm aware there's a massive dragon up there.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not staying in the middle of the street. Fuck that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to run towards this building for some cover. Turn back and I will chill touch the wyvern. So I can hit him.
Ooh, that's disadvantage on next attack, isn't it?
16 to hit the wyvern.
That's a hit.
11 points of necrotic damage. And if
Okay.
it matters, it can't regain hit points till my next turn.
All right. It screeches out again, scales dropping from its body. Still up though.
That's me done.
All right, Nazak.
Do, 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 do.
Quite like being in this little aura.
George! So I will run towards the wyvern, and I will have. Do I get advantage from there?
Um,
From the wolf.
from the wolf. Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? It's Olive.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure I was in the right place. And I will swing at the thing. 21.
No, Jamie. I see that line.
21 is a hit.
So it's 16 slashing and 6 radiant.
Okay. You run up behind it, grabbing hold of the tail and wielding your two-handed sword with one hand, bring it down hard on the tail, severing it completely. The tail, with the stinger still, flops around a bit. You throw it to the side and drive the sword fully up the wound you've left into its body. Its wings flutter one more time and flap hard on the ground before it falls dead in front of you.
Go on, Nazak.
I'll then look behind me and shout to everybody to run.
I think
Yeah.
we're all cacking our pants a bit. Are there no
10,
civilians in the street, Jamie? Are we all?
15,
Is it all
20,
militia guards
25,
now?
All militia guards.
50. So I'd get to there, and I'd be turning round and kind of like facing the dragon, yelling at everybody to run at the top of my top of my voice.
Okay.
And that's all I can do.
Olive.
Till, you hear a very familiar voice in your mind. Jump on my back,
Jump on your back.
as I use telepathy to talk to you.
10.
10,
Okay, I will be pretty used to.
25. And I'm going to be kind of semi-crouched and going to use the rest of my movement and my dash action when Till jumps on my back.
All right. I'm just going to get everyone on that map to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
And Joel,
It's an 8.
this is your fucking
Oh,
thing.
sorry. Oh, bonus action heal. I forgot
Nope.
to say that.
Nope, and that one it.
15.
13.
I got an 8.
I got a +8 and that one it.
Okay. So the mere sight of the dragon is enough to chill you. If you are able to feel fear, you are frightened for the next 10 rounds.
Hell yeah, I am. I'm fucking running. I don't even mind that. I'm fucking running.
Okay.
That thing is a big bastard.
So were you asking Till to get on your back, were you?
Yeah, so I was, I did bonus action to heal myself. I moved a little bit. I'm going to spend my action to dash once he gets on my back.
Okay.
And yeah, I telepathy said, like, get on my back.
Ride my back.
'Cause I know you only got little legs.
It's,
I'm pretty heavy.
okay, it's my go.
You don't get a go.
The dragon sees his breath weapon recharges, which it does. He unleashes fire down the street.
Hi, Gaffy.
Um,
How far are they from me?
a 90-foot cone of fire.
Well, they're far from me.
Bye, Gaffy.
Bye, Gaff. Nice knowing you. You're all good and fucked.
I could save them. But I can't move towards the dragon, can I?
No.
Nope.
Damn.
Oh,
By all the militia and Gaffy.
Look at all those wands, though.
I can't move towards them enough to heal all of them.
Gaffy and the militia guards disappear.
Yeah.
As the street is engulfed in fire.
Hopefully they survive.
Meanwhile, over in the arena.
Yes. 9 points of necrotic damage for the deacon.
My lord, let me withdraw. No. No, I don't think so. Okay. He is going to... Oh, he's just going to level 6 inflict wounds you. That's what he's going to do.
Oh shit!
Oh Christ! It was nice knowing you.
Angry boy.
Oh God!
Reaches out with his hand to try and touch you.
That's like what? 8d6.
And the rest.
Flubbed it. Oh.
Plus 9,
Oh.
so 12 to hit you.
Ah, thank God.
So he reaches out his hand towards you. You sway back with a jingle of bells, and his hand touches only air. You see the power fizzle in his hands. No!
Kill him, Sal. Kill him.
If you do this, Archie, it's going to be amazing.
Your go, Sam.
Archie's beat everybody in the arena apart from Thingy. Oh yeah, where is
Thingy?
Where is? I can't remember his name.
I'll step round.
Fucked up face dude.
Put
Laurie.
We
put
took him
space
out
between
now.
myself and the oracle.
Took him out of town. He could have
No,
taken the
I
dragon on
didn't.
himself.
Okay, you move round him, Sam.
Then I will give him a full-on beating with the flame sword flickering out with a reckless attack first. It's only a 12 to hit.
It's a miss.
And the second strike. Oh my God, it's a 9.
Both your blows swing, hitting metal underneath his clothing. He smiles.
Oh, finally, my bonus attack. With
It seems
Hey.
all the gods are on my side, Sam.
Oh,
a 26 to hit.
And just as he says those words, Sardonyx
some of
betrays
that.
him.
Finally. Okay. That's 6 piercing. That's another 6 for his necrotic wound damage. And I'd like a dexterity saving throw, please.
12. How much damage, sorry?
That was 6 piercing of that last attack. And the 1 lightning damage from the storm.
So 6 piercing, 6 necrotic, wasn't it?
No,
Oh.
you don't take the 6 necrotic
Okay.
until your
Okay.
turn,
Okay.
which is added to the 9.
That you done?
So we're taking 15 next round. Yeah, just a slight flourish to gather some dignity back from that pathetic attack.
You feel a shadow fall upon you, and the voice very close behind you says, "Good, sir. Now finish him. He deserves it." Meanwhile, back outside the Temple of the People, it's Jarek fighting the Wyvern. You're up, Jarek.
fucking red dragon when I tell this story next.
Laurie would be proud.
Okay. Same again. Hack and slash.
Laurie is who I was thinking of.
So, main attacks with the scimitar. First one, 18 to hit.
That's a hit.
First level smite. So a total of 17 points of damage.
Good.
Okay, he's still up.
I'm sure it is. Second attack, again main weapon. Please hit. 24 points. Again, a first level smite.
Okay.
So a total of 13 points of damage.
Okay, so the first one
And-
cuts through part of its wing, getting that membrane. The second one sliced through his body. He's still up.
Shit.
If Jarek survives, he's got to get some piety points for this, surely.
Come
Putting his
on.
life in the gamble.
I saved an NPC's life and I didn't get any party points.
I saved a load of Helvetians. I suppose I'm not kicking the shit out of them, though, so I won't get any.
My last attack
Okay.
with my offhand scimitar. $23 to hit.
Okay.
And I'm using my last spell slot for my last divine smite. Shit. Right, that's 7 is without the 2, so that's 5, so that's 9 points in total.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Oh. 2 slashes across the front, and then an offhanded one straight into the mouth.
All right. With 2 quick swipes across the throat, opening him up, the mouth opens involuntarily as its lifeblood sprays out in an arc in front of it. And as the mouth opens, you drive the sword straight forward, piercing the back of his head. You can see the blade scythe out of the back of his head in crimson before you pull it back. The creature falls before you.
I'm just going to leave my sword in the mouth. I'll just let go of the handle and just
Okay.
let it fall.
As it falls down handle first, the ground driving the scimitar deeper into its brain.
Oh. Thank you, Father. I'm not sure I could have survived without your help there. Let us be on to the next battle.
Back in the street with the red dragon.
So run.
I love it.
Yeah.
Where are you going to run?
Down the street, away.
So you want to head directly down this street away from the dragon. Okay.
We can't get any closer to it, can we, sir?
Is Till gonna jump on my back?
Sorry, I was just writing in another channel. Yeah, so I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, and then I'm going to use my other 5 to kind of clamber on, I suppose. So,
I would have been kneeling down.
yeah, so I got 5 more feet of movement, Jamie, so I don't know if that is enough for me to get onto...
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah, so onto your back.
I'm gonna say hold on because I've got a hold held action and I'm sprinting.
I will hold on.
I presume going down the direction we want to go is towards Jerick and Father Hal,
Yes.
Temple of the People.
That's the way you
Yeah.
came from.
So I'd be heading in that way.
See you later, Celeste. Bye.
I can follow.
Yeah, I'm not worried about
Okay.
Silith and Nazak.
Well,
It's
that was Till's go, Silif's go.
It'd be a straight dash downwards, 60 foot. What? It's 5, 10, 50, 50.
Oh, 50. Yeah, so I get to that.
Okay. And then the wild card, Nazak. He could do anything.
Which way is the Temple of Imogen?
Temple of Imogen is off to the, let's think about this, to the right of this map.
Angaro.
And there's no gaps in between the buildings.
There are gaps in between the buildings.
I'm just trying to find one.
They're just on fire.
There's like a gap here, gap here, gap here, gap there.
Gap there, did you say?
Yes.
I'd yell to Silith and Olive that I'm off to the Temple of Imogen. And run 80 foot in that direction. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. It takes me off the map.
I'll say telepathically we're going to the Temple of the People. I don't know how long we'll be there. Hurry.
All right. The dragon. His breath weapon does not recharge. You hear roar behind you as you all run off into the streets. I'm now going to turn the bulk of the action to the arena and resolve things with Sal versus Deacon. It's Deacon's go.
Yeah, that Guardian stays for 8 hours until it deals 60 damage altogether.
It's not even going to scratch the dragon.
No, but
At the start of his turn, the Deacon needs to take 15 necrotic damage.
All right. So his wounds, tactically placed on his body, continue to ooze blood. Right. He is going to... He's going to cast a spell. He's going to cast Dimension Door.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
The voice behind you goes, "No, you don't."
You got counterspelled!
I decide who lives and dies.
Moves back from you, Sam.
Do I understand what's happened?
Yeah, you've seen it before. He's tried to cast a spell, and it was counterspelled.
Betrayed by your own people. Well, I'm not going to let him run away. I'll charge after him. Reining in the attacks again. Reckless. That's a 20 to hit. 6 piercing, 11 fire damage. This comes the second attack.
Oh, it's a miss.
It's a miss. And the bonus attack. Why not? 23 to hit.
That is
8 piercing, 5 flaming damage. Oh, and there was 6 from the sneak attack as well on that first attack. And a dexterity saving throw, please.
A dexterity saving throw. All right.
Minimum of 1, doesn't matter. 1 damage.
Was it 3 2s, 2 1s on
Yeah,
that?
it's just like a static fizz at this point.
He falls to his knees. My lord. He lies to you. He lies to you.
Can I see who the deacon's talking to?
If you turn around, you see there's a large, muscular man, bare-chested, a pale, bluish skin he has, almost white. His features are strong. He's not armed.
He's not armed.
No.
Okay. Oh. You're a coward. And your blood is not worthy for this arena. But even still, I will take it. That's all I can do this round.
Okay. The beginning of the next round. Deacon's go.
15 points of necrotic damage to the deacon.
With his wounds still oozing blood, Deacon's eyes roll back and he falls to the sand. Pathetic, isn't he? Pretending to be my friend.
I'll turn to face him.
Now the storm of fate.
Tell me, Sal, do you want to be my friend? An ally? I always need allies.
I've seen what you do for your friends. I think I'll pass.
Such a shame. He flicks his hand. Can you make a wisdom saving throw?
$14.
You feel your arms tense up.
Ooh.
You are held as the large man approaches you.
I'm being held by a large man. Lovely.
He reaches behind him,
Must be a follower image.
pulling a vase from his back. He approaches you. One way or the other. We're going to be very close. Make another wisdom saving throw.
Yep, okay, no straws to grasp at. I'm saving throw.
Oh.
It's a natural 1.
Okay.
2.
You feel the wind on your face, Sal. And you feel yourself rushing forward towards the man. And an almost out-of-body experience as you're finally one with the wind. You look down upon yourself. And Nazak, as you crouch some distance outside the town, with Ingaro, you see him mouthing the words to Dramos. The sky has fallen. The city has fallen. Do not come back to the town. Do not return here. Flee. And flee you do. And Silith, as you all flee from the town and the dragon's wrath, Kira returns to you, and you see an image of Sao in the arena, his heart being pulled from his body into the hands of Morthel, the Wish Stone. And we will end it there.
Oh dear. Oh no! Morthel! Ah, fuck! That's a buddy you don't want. Ever. Oh shit.
Is that a lock-in? Are we? Is that it?
I think it's
Not-
a lock.
Not for you.
You
Okay.
are locked in.
Oh, you're definitely locked in.
Here is the status quo for as we move forward. The adventurers here flee the town. Some of the other adventurers flee the town. Some of them are stuck in the town.
Who was stuck in is the question.
Yeah. Okay, so certainly Malmur is hiding in the town. For one.
Malmir, save yourself.
Some of the adventurers flee to the tea shop.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking that might be George and the dragon.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah.
You may flee to the tea shop.
Yeah, George fleeing to the tea shop.
Dougal and Uzdrag would have definitely fled to the tea shop.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Problem is, Till doesn't know any other way to get to the Underdark, which means if the tea shop disappears and he can't find any of the Zhao family, he's never gonna find Julian.
You have to come back to town.
Oh no.
Risk it.
I'm going to give you a couple of last images to think about. As the dragon lands again, and once again breathes fire into the Temple of the People 4 more times before pushing his body into the center and moving into its centermost room to sleep.
My house. Why?
You better pay board.
Where? Oh.
Oh no.
There's a lot of magic stuff in that building.
Some of the fires are brought under control, and Morfell will move to the center of town, where he has the remaining populace assembled, and advises them that you should not worry. Law and order has been restored to your town, and for your safety I would advise none of you to leave. If any of you have priestly or magical abilities, you can be of great service at a town at this time. Please assemble in the halls. Your hallmaster has further instructions.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh. Den's fucked us over.
And at that point, I genuinely will call a halt to our recording and our session tonight.